Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. I am Invincible as the Black Dragon boss at the start. Chapter 41. Dongling City. After returning from the wild area, Su Yang went straight to Jubao Pavilion. Thanks to Su Yang's black gold identity certification. Immediately, an exclusive VIP reception lady came up to welcome her. It's just that what Su Yang wants to sell is all stolen money, so naturally she won't be used. After rejecting the warm service from the exclusive VIP reception lady, Su Yang went directly to the anonymous unmanned trading room. Su Yang first took an inventory of all kinds of equipment and props on his body, and then began to sell them. First of all, the equipment. Equipment for various other professions. As well as any equipment below the platinum level, all are sold with one click. As the largest chamber of commerce in Longxia, Jubao Pavilion has a very convenient recycling system. Any equipment, skill books, props, all of them can be directly purchased by Jubao Pavilion at 90% of the market price. If you don't want to sell directly, you can also conduct an auction. Just like the last time Su Yang auctioned Call of the Storm. It's just that the auction will take a certain amount of time. Su Yang didn't care much about the 10% price. The convenience of being able to sell is the most important thing to him. Soon, the unused equipment was sold out. The rest is the big head this time, the skill book. The last time the group wiped out the secret exploration group. But several skill books exploded. Basically, they are all high-level skill books, and the price is extremely expensive. Except Turn 5 Epic Level Warrior skill book Broken Star / for personal use. Su Yang directly sold the remaining Turn 5 Epic Class Priest skill book Sacred Healing and Turn 5 Perfect Class Knight skill book Shield of Mountain. Among them, the purchase price of the Epic Level Priest skill book Jubao Pavilion is 800 million and the Perfect Level Knight skill book is 400 million. In this way, including the money for selling equipment, the total income is about 1.3 billion. Now, all of Su Yang's assets have come to a terrifying 2.83 billion. So much money can definitely be called an astronomical figure. However, Su Yang didn't care much about it. Money, enough is enough. The most important thing is to improve your strength. As long as the strength comes up, then money is definitely not a problem. With that in mind, I clicked on the page of Jubao Pavilion and searched for Boundless Stone. Search results within Tianling City 2 results. Unbounded Stone, 540 million. Boundless Stone, 530 million. Good guy. It is said that rare things are expensive. Within the entire Tianling City, there are only 2 borderless stones on sale. The price of each piece has reached an exaggerated 500 million. Although Unbounded Stone can eliminate the level restrictions on equipment usage. But in fact, it is still relatively tasteless. After all, those who can personally obtain high-level equipment, certainly not subject to level restrictions. Those who want to use high-level equipment at a low level. Let's not talk about how much it costs to buy high-level equipment and unbounded stones. Even if the unbounded stone is used to remove the level restriction. In addition to level restrictions, there are also attribute restrictions on equipment. Want to meet the attribute restrictions of high-level equipment. This is not something that can be done with money. In this way, as a result, Stone of Unbounded is rare and precious. But there are still very few people who really need it. It's like these 2 boundless stones have been hanging for more than a year, and they haven't been sold yet. It's just that for Su Yang's kind of hooker, there must be no such troubles. So without hesitation, he directly took down the 2 unbounded stones. After obtaining Unbounded Stone, a new problem arises. I want to use Boundless Stone. Then you need to punch holes in Shadow's Bloodlust first. Punching holes in star-level equipment, only a master-level blacksmith can do it. After pondering for a while, Su Yang left Jubao Pavilion, went to the teleportation center, and teleported to Tianling City. Jubao Pavilion has a special transmission technology that can mobilize the resource pools of other branches within the region. Therefore, Su Yang can buy Boundless Stone as long as he buys it in Jubao Pavilion in Dongling City. But the master-level blacksmith, Dongling City is definitely not there. As a second-tier main city, Tianling City might have one. As for how to find, this is not a problem. Rich, Just go to Tianji Pavilion and ask. Tianji Pavilion. Lu Si walked out of the gate with a pale face. Just now, the Tianji Pavilion meeting passed a judgment. His star-level dagger was lost and was not included in the scope of reimbursement. The reason is that he did not obey Zhou Tai's command, and the loss was due to personal reasons. Oh shit. Grass. Lu Si spat viciously. The entire 4-member team, only his main weapon exploded. You have to say that Zhou Tai's Xingyao level weapon also exploded. Then he might be better off. But that guy has a Sumeru ring. Just as Lu Si left cursingly, Su Yong, who just arrived at Tianji Pavilion, just passed him by. Just by meeting each other, Su Yong recognized Lu Si. The star-level dagger fell from him. It must have been quite impressive. He just looked at Lu Si's face, livid and cursing. Su Yong inexplicably had the feeling of a Tauren yellow hair holding the heroine in his arms as he passed the suffering master. Cough cough cough. In fact, this is not his fault. Blame this guy's bad luck. In addition, he didn't hide in the tortoise enchantment at that time, and even took the initiative to come out to find himself. If you don't explode gold coins, who will explode gold coins? After this little episode, Su Yong entered the Tianji Pavilion. He is also a member of X-Alliance with Jubao Pavilion. Su Yang's black gold identity authentication is also valid in Tianji Pavilion. After being introduced by the VIP hostess, Su Yong knew about it. It turns out that with my black gold identity, I can obtain various basic information for free in Tianji Pavilion. These include the working locations, behaviors and habits of senior blacksmiths and senior enchanters in major cities. During the inquiry, Su Yong got it. There is indeed a master-level blacksmith in Tianling City. It's just that this master-level blacksmith often goes to the wild to collect various rare ores. Sometimes, it is even possible not to come back for 3 or 4 months. Fortunately, according to the information records of Tianji Pavilion, this master-level blacksmith is currently in Tianling City. And I plan to travel the day after tomorrow to collect ore from a mountain range more than 2,000 kilometers away. Good guy. It is worthy of Tianji Pavilion. The completeness of this information is simply staggering. After some emotion, Su Yong left directly from Tianji Pavilion. He rushed straight to the place where the master-level blacksmith was. Old Wolf Forge. Don't look at the name, that looks mediocre. However, the owner of this forging shop, but the only master-level blacksmith in Tianling City. At this time, forge shop, Murong Shui was waiting patiently for the forging to be completed. Because Yu Yun is about to start the attack on the diamond-level secret realm, Giant Deep Forest. In order to maximize her combat power, she deliberately came here to punch out a diamond-level weapon that she had just purchased recently. After the drilling is completed, she can embed an ice-type gem dropped by the previous boss, which can at least increase the combat power by about 10%. Not only that, in addition to the improvement of combat power, inlaid with an ice gem, it will also give the weapon a layer of ice spirit brilliance. Just like men like all kinds of cool lightsabers, even women can't resist a shiny magic weapon. Although Murong Shui has a cold personality in front of outsiders, she is also a woman after all, so of course she is no exception. At this time, she couldn't wait to get her beloved staff and see how it would work. Master Gu, how long will it take? About half an hour. Inside the forge, an old man known as the Ancient Master. A small iron awl is being used, constantly chiseling something on that staff. The old man's name was Ji Yang, and he was a rank 5 Grandmaster blacksmith. The level promotion and job transfer methods of artisan professionals are very different from those of combat professionals. They cannot gain experience from killing monsters, but can only be improved through corresponding craftsman skills. Therefore, the combat ability of such professionals is almost negligible. However, absolutely no one will look down on them because of their low combat power. Any high-level craftsman professional is quite respectable. For example, Ji Yang. As the only master-level blacksmith in Tianling City, the respect of status is even much higher than that of ordinary rank 5 combat professionals. Ka. The iron cone in Ji Yang's hand chiseled a complex and delicate magic circuit on the top of the staff. Inlaid hole is a special magic circuit that connects gems and equipment, making it quite cumbersome and complicated. So far, about 80% of the drilling progress of this diamond level staff has been completed. Tat-a-tat-tat. Outside the blacksmith shop, suddenly there was a new sound of footsteps. Immediately afterwards, a figure appeared at the door. Come. Surprisingly, it was Su Yang. The moment Su Yang stepped into the blacksmith shop, both he and Marang Shui were taken aback at the same time. This is because both of them received a prompt from the guild system. Guild Vice President Marang Shui. Guild Katakana Middle. Special Member Katakana Middle. Su Yang. When seeing this message prompt, Marang Shui was stunned for a moment first. Although I have never seen Su Yang before, but her impression of Su Yang is already very deep. Complete the 5-star job transfer task and forcibly join Yu Yun. After joining the guild, he was cold and did not reply to messages. Reach level 40 in 3 days, open the second turn. These actions and deeds of Su Yang let Marang Shui already have some preconceived notions about this mysterious member who has never met. Strong, maybe with some sort of strong background and connections, but cold and self-righteous. Therefore, when you come back to your senses, Marang Shui frowned unconsciously, reverted to the appearance of that person's former high cold goddess. You, is Su Yang. Facing Marang Shui's questioning, Su Yang just nodded slightly. And then, no more. Although in the message prompt, Su Yang learned that the white-haired lady in front of him is the vice president of the guild. But the problem is, he doesn't have any special ideas about the guild. In his opinion, the guild is just a tool man with a buff aura. Naturally, there is no need to interact too much with the members of the guild. Su Yang's bland attitude, a trace of surprise flashed in Marang Shui's beautiful eyes. In her opinion, Su Yang's aloofness before was only because he was far away in Dongling City. But now, standing in front of him, he still has this attitude. Plus, as a well-known goddess-level figure in Tianling City, Marang Shui has met too many men who couldn't look away after seeing her. She knew very well that her appearance was unparalleled to men. But Su Yang in front of him, from the time he came into the present, his eyes didn't stay on her in the slightest. Instead, he directly passed him and looked at Master Ji Yu who was forging equipment behind him. This made Marang Shui have a different view of Su Yang. At least, he won't be like those lewd men. It seems that he is quite a gentleman. Thinking of this, Marang Shui's impression of Su Yang slightly improved. However, she is still curious. Why is Su Yang here? What are you doing here? Punch the equipment. Su Yang said softly. Marang Shui was silent. She looked at Su Yang suspiciously. I even wondered if he hid by mistake. After seeing the signboard at the door, thought this was an ordinary blacksmith shop. She remembers very well. Xu Yan said it at the time. Su Yang has reached level 40 and is completing the job change task. Job transfer tasks are generally very difficult. So Marang Shui guessed. Su Yang should be thinking of inlaying a low-level gemstone in the equipment to improve combat power. But the problem is, Ji Yu Yang is a master blacksmith. Only forging equipment with a minimum diamond level is accepted. Therefore, this is simply not the place for low-level professionals to come. Thinking of this, Marang Shui, as the vice president of the guild, planned to give Su Yang a kind reminder. You must have gone to the wrong place. This is no ordinary blacksmith shop. Only accept equipment forging with a minimum diamond rank. That's right, since you're here from Dongling City. I can take you to the guild warehouse later to see if there is any silver level equipment suitable for you. Su Yang. Now, it was Su Yang's turn to be silent. He just said, how strange is the way the vice president looks at him. It turned out that I mistakenly thought that I was a newbie who went to the wrong place. You actually plan to give yourself a set of silver rank equipment. This made Su Yang not know what to say. Not to mention silver rank equipment. Even gold rank equipment. They are packaged and sold directly as garbage. But you can see it. After all, the vice president is kind. So he thanked Marang Shui first. Thank you, vice president, but I don't think I need it. After finishing speaking, he looked into the forging room and asked. Master, how long will it take for you to end? 20 minutes or so. After getting the answer, Su Yang left temporarily. He planned to wait until the other party's forging was over before coming back. Otherwise, Mirong Shui would always ask this and that here. She is also the vice president, so it's not easy for him to leave her alone. In that case, let's wait until she leaves. After Su Yang left. Mirong Shui, how does she feel? It seems to be on Su Yang's body. See a hint of feeling disgusted with yourself. This is my illusion, right? And also, Su Yang didn't seem to listen to what he said. He asked how long it will be over, meaning that he wants to wait and come again. Never mind, Mirong Shui was too lazy to care. Anyway, she has persuaded. If he wants to come, let him come. Let's see if he will be scolded when he takes out a piece of silver-grade equipment for Master Ji Yuyang to forge. After about half an hour, Ji Yuyang picked up the staff on the forging platform with satisfaction. A perfect magic loop, forming a perfect inlaid hole. On the panel of the staff called Ice Spirit, the words "can be inlaid" finally appeared. It's been forged. Ji Yuyang handed over the staff to Mirong Shui with satisfaction. 200 million. Okay. Mirong Shui nodded. Transfer the money directly. 200 million is just a small amount of money to her. Just when Mirong Shui took the staff and was about to leave, suddenly, a message popped up on her communication panel. Mirong, are you still with Master Ji Yuyang? Just now, Jubao Pavilion, there was a 4-turn wind gem, and I snatched it. If you're still there, make an appointment with Master Ji Yuyang for me, I'll be there in a few minutes. The message comes from Yu. Because the strategy of the diamond-level dungeon, Giant Deep Forest, is about to be carried out. That's why everyone in Yuyun is trying their best to increase their combat power recently, including Mirong Shui and Yu. Mirong Shui agreed without thinking. Okay, I'll help you make an appointment with Master Ji Yu. Thank you, I'll be right there. As the only master blacksmith in Tianling City, Ji Yuyang often didn't see anyone for several months or even more than half a year. Although the investigation information from Tianji Pavilion shows that Ji Yuyang will leave in the day after tomorrow. But people and dungeon strategies are different. Tianji Pavilion can guarantee that the dungeon strategy will not make mistakes. But there is no guarantee that people will act on the information they investigate. That's why Yu was in such a hurry. Who knows if I miss this time, when will I have to wait next time? Master Ji Yuyang, I have a friend later, and I may also ask you to help forge an inlay hole. Okay, Ji Yuyang nodded. Then he sat down on a nearby chair to rest. After all, he is already old, and after concentrating on forging, he still needs to rest. 5 minutes later, Yu arrived. She first thanked Mirong Shui. Then he handed his slender long sword to Ji Yuyang. Master Ji Yuyang, please make an inlay hole on the hilt. It's not here yet, just wait a little bit. Ji Yuyang shook his head lightly, and said so. Hearing this, Yu was slightly taken aback. There was a little doubt in the eyes looking at Mirong Shui. It wasn't until this time that Mirong Shui realized. Master Ji Yuyang, this is Count Su Yang's appointment. After telling Yu what happened just now, Mirong Shui looked at Master Ji Yuyang, and patiently explained. Master Ji Yuyang, that boy just now is a member of our guild. He hasn't completed the second turn yet, he probably treats your old forging shop as an ordinary blacksmith's shop. After all, he just came to Tianling City from Dongling City, and he is not familiar with the place, so it is understandable that he made such a mistake. The equipment he wants to forge from you should be silver-level equipment, you don't need to take it seriously. Mirong Shui hasn't finished speaking yet. Only the sound of footsteps came from outside the door again. It's not someone else. It was Su Yang, who had just returned from a short stroll in Tianling City. After seeing Mirong Shui, Su Yang was slightly taken aback. You haven't left yet. Immediately, his eyes fell on Yu, who was beside Mirong Shui again. Guild member Vice President Yu. Not only Mirong Shui did not leave. Now there is another Vice President. When Su Yang looked at Yu's eyes also fell on Su Yang. Seeing Su Yang for the first time, a gleam of splendor flashed in Yu's beautiful eyes. What a handsome brother. Don't go crazy here. The corner of Mirong Shui's mouth twitched slightly, feeling a little ashamed of Yu's nympho. It's really handsome. Yu blinked. It's different from Mirong Shui's aloofness. She has always been cheerful and lively. There is no intention of hiding my thoughts. Regarding this, Mirong Shui still thought about what to say. But only Ji Yu Yang's voice sounded slowly. Give me the equipment you want to forge. Okay. Su Yang nodded. Although Mirong Shui hasn't left yet. There was even a beautiful vice president. But he didn't want to waste any more time. Walking up to Ji Yu Yang, he took out the Shadow's Bloodlust and handed it over. After seeing Shadow's Bloodlust, Ji Yu Yang was taken aback for a moment. Immediately, a strong excitement flashed in his eyes. As a master blacksmith, the highest grade equipment he can currently forge is the Xingyao grade. Forging star-level equipment will be of great help to his skill experience improvement. It's a pity that there are not many star-level weapons in Tianling City. At the same time, Mirong Shui, who hadn't realized the seriousness of the matter, said helplessly. I told you just now, this is not an ordinary forging shop, why do you still? But the story is not over yet. The moment her eyes touched Shadow's Bloodlust, Mirong Shui froze in place, as if petrified. The unfinished words got stuck in his throat. See, the dagger that exudes a faint light. The purple star imprint on the handle of the dagger is showing its identity. Impressively, a star-level weapon. This moment, Mirong Shui was dumbfounded. My mind went blank. This is a star-level weapon. Looking at the obvious starlight engraving, Mirong Shui felt that her worldview had collapsed. You know, even among 10 rank 5 professionals, those who can own star-level weapons may not be able to surpass them. If I remember correctly, Su Yang hasn't completed the second mission yet. Actually, owned a star-level weapon. This is also too exaggerated. Just like Mirong Shui's shock. And Yu's reaction at this time was almost the same. Looking at Su Yang's beautiful eyes, full of shock. 2. Please go out first. I'm not free today. Mirong Shui and Yu haven't recovered yet. But Ji Yu Yang couldn't wait to start forging. He directly ordered the two of them to leave without losing face. Even after pushing them out of the blacksmith shop. With a bang, the door was closed. Mirong Shui. And Yu. After a few seconds of silence. And Yu said with lingering fear. This Su Yang, could it be the young master of some S-level guild, who came to experience life with us? That's Xingyao level equipment. The president doesn't know if he can get one after turning 5. Mirong Shui. Maybe, there is this possibility. The two were silent for a while again. It now appears that their previous guess was correct. The reason why Su Yang was able to reach level 40 in such a short period of time. There are definitely high-level transfer professionals behind to help upgrade. Only, Su Yang's background. It should be much stronger than they imagined. At least, being able to take out a star-level weapon to Su Yang who has not completed the second round. This kind of strength is definitely not what Yu Yun can imagine or match. Beside Mirong Shui, and Yu looked at the closed door of the blacksmith shop, her beautiful eyes flickered. Although the upgrade may be brought, but he was able to complete the 5-star job change, which shows that he is also very strong. Unfathomable background, superior personal strength. Sister, I'm a little bit moved. Mirong Shui. And Yu, what does that expression mean? I'm rarely interested in boys. Mirong Shui. And Yu, forget it, I was joking. Mirong Shui. And Yu, okay, I'm not kidding, but Su Yang doesn't seem very interested in us either. Let's go back first. 4 hours later, after a full 4 hours of engraving with full concentration. Finally, Shadow's Bloodlust, the forging is complete. Ji Yu Yang's wrinkled old face showed an extremely satisfied look. As a professional craftsman, he has been striving for perfection for decades. The reason is the sense of satisfaction obtained after forging high-level equipment. It's just so long and dedicated to build. Let him be exhausted. Even, too tired to speak. After returning Shadow's Bloodlust to Su Yang, he could only stretch out a finger feebly. 100 million? Su Yang asked curiously. Ji Yu Yang's mouth twitched. You boy, it's Tai Niang's billion. Ahem, cough, this is my first time here, and I'm not familiar with the price. I'm sorry, old man, turned over. Su Yang immediately transferred the money. Originally, I had 2.83 billion on my body after selling things. then spent 1.07 billion to buy 2 unbounded stones. Now, another 1 billion was spent on punching Xingyao level weapons. Only 760 million are left. It's really worth the money. However, Su Yang doesn't think he was cheated. There are very few craftsmen who can forge Xingyao weapons. 1 billion is 1 billion. As long as there are more waves of challengers in the future. That money is not easy to earn back. Paid, Su Yang left the blacksmith shop. After arriving at the Tianling City Teleportation Center. According to the map given by the statue, it was teleported to the place closest to the marked point. Wild Spirit Mountains. This is the advanced leveling area near Tianling City. Even on the outskirts of the Wild Spirit Mountain range, the average level of monsters has reached level 40 or above. After exiting the transfer point, Su Yang walked all the way, and found a place where no one was there. Inlaid unbounded gem on Shadow's Bloodlust. With the flow of a strange force of rules. The level restriction of this Xingyao level dagger was erased. At this time, its panel becomes Star Brilliance level 110 Shadows Bloodthirsty. Equipment restrictions. Occupation restrictions. None. Attribute limit. Speed 300 points, Spirit 300 points. Level limit. None. Attributes. Speed plus 800, Strength plus 400. Characteristic. Shadow body consume magic power, achieve the effect of invisibility in a short time, and gain 60% speed increase. Revenant mark consume mana, mark the target, launch an attack without being noticed, and increase the damage by 300%. Perfect. Now you only need to meet the conditions of attribute restrictions to equip it. Su Yang clicked on the property bar of his personal panel. Attributes. Strength. 580 basic attribute 241 plus equipment bonus 339. Speed 129 basic attribute 111 plus equipment bonus 18. Spirit 348 basic attribute 174 plus equipment bonus 174. As we all know, the attribute restrictions of equipment refer to the basic attributes. The bonus attributes of equipment will not be counted. Therefore, Su Yang's current dual attributes of mental speed are still a lot worse. But, don't panic. As a coercion, there is a way to coerce. First, the free attribute points obtained from level 34 to level 40 have not been allocated yet. As a 5-star job change, Su Yang can get an additional 5 points of free attributes every time he upgrades. A total of 6 levels have been raised, that is, 90 points of attributes, all of which are directly added to the spiritual attributes. In this way, the spiritual basic attribute reached 264 points. Besides, it is the spoils of the last 2 group kills. Among them, when the Lingshou group was destroyed for the first time. Obtained 2 special potion props. Meditation Elixir 1 permanently increase spiritual attributes by 50 points maximum consumption limit, 5. Flying Elixir 2 permanently increase the speed attribute by 50 points maximum consumption limit, 5. When the group wiped out several members of the Secret Quest group. Dropped higher order permanent potions. Xian Su Ling 1 permanently increase the speed attribute by 100 points maximum consumption limit, 2. Because it is a permanent attribute bonus. These medicines are very expensive. If it is sold, it is enough to sell for a sky-high price. But Su Yang kept it until now, just for this moment. Not much to say, just drink it. After taking a total of 4 bottles of medicine. Immediately, a magical force filled his body. Under the action of this magical force, Su Yang's attributes have been boosted. Among them, the spiritual attribute increased by 50 points, reaching 314 points. The speed has increased by a full 200 points, reaching 311 points. Now, it fully complies with the attribute restrictions. This is the solution to hang up. Simple and crude, but effective. Call. Su Yang took a deep breath. A trace of excitement and anticipation flashed in his eyes. When holding Shadow's Bloodlust again. Because the restrictions are all met. The two form a connection. Equipped successfully. Attributes take effect. Immediately, Su Yang's property. Ushered in an exaggerated skyrocketing. Speed plus 800. Strength plus 400. A full 1200 attribute points. Let Su Yang's combat power directly have a qualitative leap. Now, Su Yang's properties panel. It's already outrageous. Open up the door to outrageous incredible is home. Attributes. Strength. 980. Basic attribute 241 plus equipment bonus 739. Speed. 1129. Basic attribute 311 plus equipment bonus 818. Spirit. 488. Basic attribute 314 plus equipment bonus 174. To know. Su Yang is only level 40 now. The mission of the second turn has not been submitted yet. The percentage attribute bonus that has not yet experienced the second life sublimation. But in terms of attributes, it has surpassed most third-rank professionals. Just imagine, when he submitted the task to the temple of his transfer. Another 25% increase in the highest life level. Su Yang's property panel. It is estimated that it is comparable to some boss. If things go on like this, there is no need to be a boss at the same time. He himself is the boss. Wild Spirit Mountains. All kinds of ferocious monsters of level 40. Even, some monsters have exceeded level 50. Don't say it's a second turn. Even if it is a professional who has completed the third rank. Don't even dare to go deep alone. At this time. Deep in the mountains. In the seemingly peaceful deserted dense forest. Countless monsters are wandering crazily. Searching for prey that strayed here. Suddenly, a slight sound sounded, as if something flashed by. The monsters raised their heads one after another. There is not much wisdom in the eyes. Looking at the empty place, he showed some doubts. Shuttle alone in the barren mountains. Su Yang's speed is too fast to catch with the naked eye. Now he is in the state of shadow body. In this state, not only can you get a 60% speed bonus, but you are also in a stealth state. Unless the spiritual attribute is 30% higher than Su Yang's, it is impossible to detect Su Yang's position. Follow the location marked on the map and go all the way, and now we are about to reach the central area of the Wild Spirit Mountain Range. You can say it this way. Monster here. The average level is almost at level 50. Therefore, Su Yang can be 100% sure. The beasts that need to be killed in the hidden mission must be above level 55. The difficulty of such a task. A hellish description. Maybe it's not enough. 10 minutes forward again. Su Yang finally came to the place marked on the map. Compared with the place just now, this place is more remote and more desolate. The most important thing is the number of monsters here. Much less than before. This situation means that in this area, there must be some kind of powerful predator, which will lead to the scarcity of the remaining monsters. Su Yang took a closer look, and soon found a cave at the bottom of one of the mountains, where it was hidden by trees. If I'm not mistaken, the brutal beast in the mission description. It should live in it. After taking a deep breath, Su Yang held legendary skill scroll 5 charges Storm Thunder 1000 Blades in his hand ahead of time. He's already thought about it. This time to complete the hidden mission. It is mainly used to consider your actual combat effectiveness. If possible, he would really like to kill it with his own strength. But if not, then Su Yang will not force it. Just use this legendary skill scroll to output on the face. Anyway, it's just a process. He hoped that the brutal beast would not be ignorant of good and evil. Otherwise, if this mountain range is destroyed by then, it will be bad. Think so. Su Yang continued to maintain the state of shadow body, sneaking in quietly from the cave. After entering the cave, at first it was pitch black. I can't see my fingers. But after all, there are powerful monsters in it. It must be difficult to ignite and illuminate, otherwise it will be exposed. Su Yang can only continue to grope forward. After a while, it turned out that the inside gradually became brighter. On the walls, there are some kind of gemstones like Yi Ming pearls inlaid. A faint light is being emitted, making the cave brighter. Then go deeper. Su Yang slowly noticed. The scale of this cave seems to have exceeded my imagination. So far it looks like at least half of the mountain is empty. I just don't know why the mountain didn't collapse under such circumstances. Could it be that above this cave, there is some kind of prohibition circle that keeps the mountain from collapsing? Thinking about it this way, Su Yang suddenly saw a large group of black shadows in the open space ahead. The volume of this black shadow is almost as big as 2 giant elephants. Even if you can't see the specific appearance clearly, it makes people feel a strong sense of oppression. Is this the cruel beast that I let myself kill in a hidden mission? Su Yong temporarily stopped his pace, throwing an identification technique towards the huge black shadow. Level 55 mutated beast swallowing unknown meat. Health volume, skill, characteristic. Grass. Accept grades. Can't see all the information. Su Yong realized that he seemed necessary. Go buy a skill book for high-level clairvoyance. Otherwise, relying solely on the most basic appraisal technique feels too rubbish. But, although I don't know the specific situation of it, but it's okay to try. So far, it hasn't found itself yet. It shows that its spiritual attribute is not much higher than itself. Otherwise, his invisibility should have been exposed long ago. Think so. Su Yong keeps getting closer. Finally came to the position where the head of the cruel beast was. By the faint light from the Yiming stone in the distance, Su Yong discovered that this fierce beast turned out to be a zombie-like monster. Just saw it at first glance. Su Yong was almost taken aback. That rotting head, that sickening smell. This is the first time Su Yong has seen such a monster. But, mental quality is hard enough after all. After getting used to it a bit, Su Yong activates Revenant Mark, consumes mana and marks the target. The next attack, without being noticed, will increase the damage by 300%. Immediately afterwards, holding Shadow's Bloodlust, he stabbed directly at the head with a knife. Caused 32,281 damage. A number floated out from above the head of the zombie beast. Su Yong was about to take a look at the health bar on it. Decide whether to keep going or just pull out the scroll and nuke it. Result: it doesn't matter if you don't look at it. One look, the blood bar has just bottomed out. Ah, Su Yong was stunned. Although I see you are all. Single quote dot. But I killed you instantly. What kind of extreme contrast is this? But it feels so good. This is the strength after being equipped with Xingyao level weapons. Ding, you killed the mutated beast who swallowed unknown meat, and gained experience plus 4321. With the log information prompt sounded, the beast in front of him turned into a spot of light and disappeared. After it disappears, two things remained on the ground. One of them is the modeled key mentioned in the mission description. The other thing is a piece of rotten meat. Old key. Introduce. The years have left mottled marks. The mysterious key looks like the key to a certain door. Unknown piece of rotten meat. Introduce. The mighty power of the past dissipated. It is a symbol of decay that makes it impossible to deduce its origin. Among them, this modeled key is still normal. At least it was mentioned in the hidden job transfer task. It may be an important prop for the next stage of the task. On the contrary, this unknown piece of rotten meat was not mentioned in the mission description at all. Just looking at the description, it seems to imply that the former owner of this piece of meat is extremely powerful. Even if the mighty power in it dissipated, it would be enough to mutate the beast. Forget it, put it aside for now, and talk about it later. After taking the two props into the bag, Su Yong went back the same way. Now, it's time to submit the transfer task. Take your strength to the next level. Dongling City. After leaving the transfer center, Su Yong went straight to the career transfer temple. When I came to the gate of the temple, Bai Ling was already waiting here as usual. Although after a job change, Su Yong is already familiar with the route of the temple. But Bai Ling was still by Su Yang's side, and he didn't stop until Su Yong entered the room where the god of transfer was. Change job statue. Solemn and solemn, but shrouded in chaos. It is impossible for people to spy on its true face. Su Yong came to the statue of the job-changing god. Submitted the corresponding job transfer task. Professional transfer task testing. Clear 2 silver-level dungeons by 1 player, and kill the boss within 3 minutes after encountering the boss 2 halves. The test is completed, the job transfer task is passed. It was the same as when completing the mission of the first turn. Complete the 5-star difficulty transfer, obtain the highest level of life sublimation, and increase the basic attributes by 25%. In the statue of the transfer god shrouded in endless chaos, it exudes a little star-like light, entering Su Yang's body. Mysterious power circulates in Su Yang's body, raising his life level. At the same time, Su Yang's wrist, next to the orange job transfer halo. The orange halo of job transfer, which symbolizes the second job transfer, is slowly condensing and forming. The basic attribute has increased by 25% again. Let the attribute panel, which was already extremely outrageous, become even more terrifying. Strength and basic attributes. 241, 301. Speed basic attributes. 311 close double angle bracket 388. Spirit basic attributes. 324, 405. Complete the 5-star difficulty transfer, get the Magic Warrior exclusive passive skills double spiritual enhancement. Because of the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th job transfers, there will be branch advancement of the profession. Therefore, the rewards for the 2nd, 4th, and 6th job transfer tasks are mainly the skills of the corresponding professions. Su Yang immediately checked the effect of this skill named Double Spirit Enhancement. Passive skill Double Spirit Enhancement. Introduce. It is a profession that learns strength and magic at the same time. At the same time, when he became a magic warrior, he engraved the life program of the transformation of the two in his body. Effect. Increase the spirit attribute according to 10% of the strength attribute. Increase the strength attribute according to 10% of the spiritual attribute. Not cyclically superimposed. The moment I saw the skill introduction, Su Yang admits, the profession of magic warrior. It feels a bit like a bug. Such an awesome passive skill. It turned out to be a job transfer reward for the 2nd job. According to the percentage of power and spirit attributes, it can affect the transformation of the two attributes. Passive skills take effect immediately. Su Yang's property panel changed again. Strength basic attributes. 301 close double angle bracket 342. Speed basic attribute. 388. Spirit basic attributes. 405, 435. Up to this point, Su Yang already felt it. The rewards for 5-star 2-turn are rich enough. However, but it hasn't stopped yet. Because next, the job-changing idol will start to settle the rewards for the hidden job-changing task. Hidden job transfer task detection. Confirmation of props. Confirmation completed. Hidden job transfer task completed. Reward distribution. 5% increase in all attributes. Special profession magic warrior, a legendary skill book. Another attribute increase dropped. Su Yang felt that he was about to go numb. Strength and basic attributes. 342, 359. Speed basic attributes. 388 to 407. Spirit basic attributes. 435, 456. Such a luxurious panel. It has surpassed those who have completed the 3 job transfers. You know, the level to complete 3 turns is level 61. Based on the average 2-star job change, if you upgrade to level 61, you can only get 720 points of free attributes. But now, Su Yang's attribute points, it has reached an exaggerated more than 1200. Among them, the gap even nearly doubled. Level cap open. Under the effect of reserve experience, level 40 to 58. Haven't waited for Su Yang to finish. The more intense and refreshing feeling brought by the massive experience went straight to the sky. When the upper limit of the level is opened at the first turn, it is only 1 million experience. But this time, nearly 5 million experience points were imported directly. That kind of pleasure can hardly be described in words. The level has been upgraded. After completing the 5-star 1 turn, Su Yang can get 15 points of free attributes for every level up. Now I have completed the 5-star 2 turn. Now every level up, you can get a full 20 free attributes. In this way, another 360 points of attributes will be credited to the account. Directly and evenly allocated to the 2 main attributes of strength and spirit. Strength and basic attributes. 359, 539. Speed basic attributes. 407. Spirit basic attributes. 456, 636. This moment, Su Yang can say without exaggeration, let a professional who has completed 3 rotations stand in front of him. Also without wearing equipment, I can directly give the other party a second. As for the use of equipment, that would be a bit of a bully. Finally, Skills. Su Yang's eyes fell on the legendary skill he had just acquired. Magic Warrior Legendary Skill Double Destruction Blade. Effect. Combine Magic Blade with the currently worn weapon into one. Consumes half of the magic power to launch a super attack. Causes 200% strength attribute damage plus 200% spirit attribute damage. 200% attribute bonus respectively. Mixed physical and magical damage. As expected of a legendary skill. Awesome. The second round is complete. Explosive increase in strength. Now Su Yang is level 58. But whether it is attributes or combat power, they are far beyond what a level 58 professional should look like. Especially after being equipped with Shadow's Bloodthirsty, the star level equipment. Su Yang can instantly kill tier 3 casually. If you count the skill scrolls in your personal backpack. Killing the 4th level in seconds is just a matter of throwing a few skill scrolls. After leaving the room where the idol is, Bai Ling, who was always waiting outside the door, greeted him. Master Brave, congratulations on completing the 5-star 2 turn. As a temple priest, the moment Su Yang completed the 5-star 2 turn, Bai Ling got the news from the job-changing statue. At this moment, she can completely feel the powerful aura on Su Yang. Much stronger than the 2nd turn professional. Even, perhaps better than a 3rd rank professional. This made her worship of Su Yang more intense. The eyes looking at Su Yang are also full of admiration. As the person chosen by the job-changing statue, Bai Ling kept in mind the regulations of the job transfer temple. One of them, the temple priest who accompanied the brave, can be promoted accordingly. This kind of promotion was bestowed by the job-changing statue himself. For example, she is now a 3rd order temple priest. If Su Yang completes 4 turns, then she will be blessed by the job-changing statue. Promoted to tier 4. Of course, Bai Ling knew. Su Yang has just completed his 2nd turn. Turn 4 there should still be a long time. Master Brave, since you have completed the 5-star 2 turn, your benefits are officially updated. The original 10 million per month in the corresponding national currency was adjusted to 50 million per month. The discount of the X-Alliance's Black Gold Identity Certification has been increased from 20% to 30%. Okay, Su Yang nodded slightly. That 50 million per month is not a lot of money, but mosquito legs are also meat. As for the X-Alliance's shopping discount, it's not bad from 20% off to 30% off. After leaving the career transfer temple, Su Yang plans to take a good rest for a few days first. I am now level 58. As long as you upgrade 2 levels, you will reach level 60. After reaching level 60, you can turn on the 3rd turn. But in this way, it is a bit too rushed. There is no need to make yourself so tired. A combination of work and rest is the most reasonable way to become stronger. Tianling City, Yuyun Building. Shu Yan and Ji Muzzy. They were surrounding Yu with curiosity on their faces, listening to her gushing about meeting Su Yang today. As for Mirong Shui, she was sitting on the sofa absent-mindedly, not knowing what to think. I'll tell you, Su Yang is the most handsome guy I've ever seen. Even Mirong glanced at him several times. You can understand that, right? And Yu said with confidence. Shu Yan, is that an exaggeration? As he spoke, he glanced at Mirong Shui beside him. Ji Muzzy, well, handsome. I want to see. Naturally dumbfounded, she also tilted her head and glanced at Mirong Shui. However, Mirong Shui acted as if she didn't hear it. He was in a daze casually. He completely ignored the eyes of several people. It's okay to be handsome. You guys don't know that when he took out the Xingyao level weapon, Mirong Shui and I both fainted. That's a star level weapon. Our guild is just trying to get a ticket to Trial Secret Realm, and it's just to get a star level weapon. But he just turned around, and he has a star level weapon in his hand. That's why Mirong and I agree that he is definitely the young master of an S-level guild. He is handsome, has a background, and his personal strength is strong enough to pass the 5-star job transfer. Any girl who sees her will probably be moved. Look at this, Mirong Shui's distraught look, she must be thinking about her. Talking, and Yu started directly. With a smile, he rubbed Mirong Shui's long legs. Little Mirong, am I right? Ah. What did you say? Mirong Shui finally recovered. That beautiful face was full of bewilderment. Seeing this, and Yu and Shu Yan both laughed and trembled. Only the naturally dumb Ji Muzzy said honestly. Sister, and Yu said, Sister Murong, you are thinking about new members. Murong Shui was stunned for several seconds. Then he took a deep breath and threw himself at An Yu. An Yu, what are you talking about? Ha 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 ha, let go of your hand. Let go. I won't say it, I'm joking, ha 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 ha. As a well-known goddess-level figure in Tianling City, when the two of them were fighting on the sofa, there would occasionally be a spring breeze, which is really a beautiful scenery in the world. Okay, seeing that the two gradually became a little disheveled, Lin Yuyun, who was leaning against the table, coughed softly. About Su Yang. That's it for now. Now that I know his background is so big, then he will definitely leave Yuyun in the future. My suggestion is to follow the original plan, just let him act on his own. In the next few days, you all concentrate on improving your strength. By the way, read more about Giant Deep Forest's strategy. If, Murong, you really have an idea, then we have to wait until the end of the strategy, understand? Shu Yan. Ha 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 ha, President, you just met me. And you, Murong, hurry up and find the President. Murong Shui. Yes, Long, Ji Muzzy. Curiosity. Tianji Pavilion. At this time, in the conference room, Zhou Tai is working with the general manager of Eternal Wind City. That is Lucy's prospective brother-in-law, Jia Yu, reporting information about Black Dragon Fortress. After the Black Dragon Fortress was promoted to the Xingyao rank, it became the true spirit secret realm that could not be refreshed repeatedly. Therefore, the first time you clear the level, the rewards you can get for killing the Black Dragon boss will be a qualitative leap compared to before. As the holder of the record for the first pass of the most high-level secret realms in the country, Tianji Pavilion will naturally not miss such a good opportunity. Zhou Tai, you are in charge of this raid against the secret realm. 30 exploration group members should be enough to pass the level. Those who can join the secret exploration group must be at least 5 ranks. 25 ranks is almost the standard lineup for clearing a copy of Xingyao rank. But considering that he was going to face a giant dragon boss this time, just to be on the safe side, Jia Yu allocated 10 more people. Well, 30 people should be enough. Zhou Tai nodded and took over the burden this time. Then leave it to you. If it's not that I'm not free, I really want to come and slay a dragon myself, exercise my muscles. Jia Yu laughed. The boss of the giant dragon. Not so common, but according to Zhou Tai's description, the Black Dragon boss here should still be in its infancy, so it doesn't mean much. Correct. Wait until the boss has residual blood. Let Lu Si be the Terminator. When the boss has residual blood, let Lu Sili be the Terminator. When I heard this, Zhou Tai frowned slightly. The Terminator of the boss often can get more experience distribution, and higher reward drops. It's just that according to the rules, whoever contributes more in the dungeon will be the Terminator of the boss. Simply appointing one person to be the Terminator, this is not in accordance with the rules. Zhou Tai's personality has always been straightforward, so he directly stated. Jia Tongguan, is this against the rules? Zhou Tai's words. The atmosphere in the meeting room suddenly became a little awkward. Especially the rest of the Tianling City Tianji Pavilion executives present. All secretly sweated for Zhou Tai in their hearts. They all knew the relationship between Lucy and Jia Yu. And Jia Yu is the governor of Yongfang City. To be honest, Tianji Pavilion in the entire Tianling City. In fact, they are all subordinates of Jia Yu. Not only them. On the communication panel, even Jia Yu was also taken aback. But soon, he came back to his senses, with an intriguing smile on his face. Zhou Tai, rules are dead, people are alive. Besides, the rules are made by people. At that time, you discussed and decided not to include Lucy's lost Xingyao level weapon in the scope of reimbursement. I didn't say anything. Now, just do as I say. I'm very optimistic about you. The last sentence, very optimistic. Jia Yu also deliberately used the accent. Those who are present can see it. This is the big tuber beating the little tuber. Okay, got it. At last, Zhou Tai still nodded. Did not continue to entangle in this matter. He is very clear that his current strength is far from enough to interfere with Jia Yu's decision. That being the case, it is useless to say more. After the meeting, Zhou Tai left from the conference room. As soon as he walked out, he saw Lucy and Zhang Kexin who were flirting in the corridor. At this time, Zhang Kexin almost put the waves on his chest on Lucy. It was only after seeing Zhou Tai that he restrained himself a little bit and retracted his body a little. Look at Lucy again. After he met Zhou Tai. Smiling, he stepped forward and asked, "How about Brother Zhou? Did my brother-in-law tell me about making me a boss terminator?" This is, Brother Zhou. It made Zhou Tai feel a little sick in his heart. But he just nodded blankly. Say it, you will see the timing yourself when the time comes. No problem. Lucy grinned, but fierceness flashed in his eyes. But it made his expression look a little weird at the moment. That idiot black dragon exploded my star-level dagger. This time, let's see if I don't kill it harshly and drink it. I heard that dragon meat is good for the body, but I don't know if it's true. As he spoke, he glanced at Zhang Kexin from the corner of his eye. The meaning is self-evident. Zhou Tai ignored Lucy. Just walked away. After he walked away, Lucy spat fiercely to the side. Calling you, Brother Zhou really takes himself seriously. HMPH, when the time comes, I'll ask my brother-in-law to level up and see if you can still be arrogant. Ah Chu. At home. Su Yang sneezed inexplicably. Why does it feel like someone is cursing him? Anyway, the last time I transformed Dragon Slaying Heart into personal equipment and brought it out of the secret realm. It led to the promotion of Black Dragon Fortress to the secret realm of Star Brilliance. The secret realm of the Star Brilliance rank. The secret boss cannot be refreshed repeatedly. Therefore, the reward for the first kill is quite generous. Secret Exploration Group is a well-known high-level secret realm raiders guild in the country. After being wiped out by his own group last time, would he just suffer from being dumb like this? Wrong. If nothing else, during this period of time, they should be able to organize a real raiders team book, right? Last time it was because there were only 4 of them. One of them was killed in seconds by himself in advance. If the number of people increases, dozens of 5 turns at a time. Feeling a bit overwhelmed. After all, the panel of the Black Dragon boss is only a diamond-level boss panel. It's just that relying on the powerful talent bonus of the giant dragon species, the combat power far exceeds the diamond level. But if you want to deal with dozens of rank 5s at once, it's still not enough. I remember when I checked the panel of the Black Dragon boss. It seems that there is a word, infancy. The juvenile dragon, if it can grow to the next stage, it shouldn't be a problem, right? At that time, dozens of 5 ranks will be wiped out in one wave. How cool would that be? Last time it was just 4 or 5 rotations. After the group wiped them out, they just made Su Yang fat. This time, if we can wipe out the dozens of 5 rank members of the Secret Exploration Group, the experience gained and the treasures dropped, I guess it will be so cool. No, it has to be a big one. But here comes the problem. How to make an infant black dragon boss grow to the next stage? What is the growth period of the dragon like? How to grow? This knowledge, naturally, there can be no teaching in the school. Want to know? It has to rely on Tianji Pavilion. It is known as the Tianji Pavilion that collects all kinds of information and strategies. You should know something about dragons, right? Only if you really rely on the information provided by Tianji Pavilion. Completed the promotion of the Black Dragon boss, thus destroying that secret exploration group. Is it a little bit unkind? Wrong. They did it first. I was just forced to fight back. Kind, very kind. After convincing yourself easily, Su Yang directly offered a 40% discount to Tianji Pavilion as a Black Gold member. A total of 5.1 million oceans was spent to buy a copy of the basic guide to the Giant Dragon. Open the Giant Dragon Basic Instructions Guide. After finding the Black Dragon genus entry, began to look carefully. Black Dragon, race dragon species, characteristics cruel, bloodthirsty. Known racial talent, strength enhancement, black flame control, dragon coercion. When I saw this, Su Yang was slightly taken aback. Because of these items. Didn't mention the 80% double immunity of the Black Dragon boss. What's going on? Could it be that exploration group Black Dragons encountered in the past don't have this bug level talent? If this is the case, then why does the Black Dragon boss that I can currently serve have? And it's just infancy, and many more, in Su Yang's mind. Suddenly, a bold guess came across. The Black Dragon boss that I am part-time. There shouldn't be any noble dragon blood, right? This conjecture seems more reliable the more I think about it. What is the full name of Black Dragon boss? Black Flame Wings Black Dragon Athos. Wings of Black Flame. Sounds like some sort of title. The dragon that can bear the title. They shouldn't be ordinary dragons, right? No problem. Ordinary dragons should not be worthy of the title. Being patient, Su Yang continued to look down. Black Dragon Strength Correspondence Table in each period. Larval Stage Closed Double Angle Bracket Diamond Stage. Pre-Growth Stage Closed Double Angle Bracket Xingyao Stage. Post-Growth Stage Closed Double Angle Bracket Weiyu Stage. Adult Period Closed Double Angle Bracket Fire Yang Stage. Really? See this? Almost sure. The Black Dragon boss that I am concurrently in charge of. Even among Black Dragons, he is the absolute king. Ordinary Black Dragons are only at the diamond level in their juvenile stage. But this Black Dragon has the strength of Xingyao level in its juvenile stage. The reason why it was rated as a diamond rank before was only because of the Dragon Slaying Heart mechanism to kill. Now that Dragon Slaying Heart is taken away by him, the strength of the Black Dragon boss will naturally be corrected. Exploration Record. A secret realm with a Black Dragon has been discovered in Longxia. Crafted Northwest Region Luo Shicheng Anbei City Range Dragon Cave Lupation Stage Black Dragon, a diamond level difficulty dungeon. Crafted Central Area Night Curtain City Lingjiang City Range Dragon Vein Barren Mountain, Pre-Growth Stage Black Dragon, the difficulty of the copy of Weiyu level. Unconquered Southeast Region Eternal Wind City Tianling City Range Black Dragon Fortress, Pre-Growth Black Dragon, a dungeon of star level difficulty. There are 3 records in total. It means that in the entire territory of Longxia, only 3 Black Dragons have been discovered so far. 2 of them have even been defeated, leaving only the Black Dragon boss that he is concurrently in charge of yet to be killed. But Su Yang was keenly aware. Among them, the second and third pieces of information obviously have problems. First of all, it is the Black Dragon boss Black Flame Wings that he is also in charge of. It is clearly larval stage, but it is marked as pre-growth stage. And many more. Could it be that they can't see the specific information of Black Flame Wings? Just like when I met the monster that devoured the unknown rotten meat in the Wild Spirit Mountains, all. Single quote dot. There is such a possibility. If Black Flame Wings has some kind of special dragon blood, then in terms of rank, it will be higher than other Black Dragons. In the face of a target whose rank is too high, even the Hawkness technique cannot take effect and detect specific information. Only, in this second record, what about the Black Dragon that has been crusaded? It is marked as pre-growth stage in the determination of the growth stage, and it should also be of star level difficulty. But it was written on the back, Weiyu level difficulty. Could it be that like this Black Flame Wing, it is also a Black Dragon with a special bloodline? Just when Su Yang was puzzled, he suddenly discovered that there was an additional special record in this record. Special record. Since this dungeon is of the difficulty level of Weiyu, the Black Dragon in it was initially identified as a post-growth stage individual. But after killing it, judging by the obtained dragon heart, its growth stage is pre-growth stage. Judging by killing the dropped items and subsequent research, the Black Dragon inadvertently swallowed unknown piece of rotten meat, leading to a promotion in strength. Special mark. Unknown rotten meat.jpg. For any such props, Tianji Pavilion is willing to pay a lot of money to buy them. Su Yang. That Black Dragon. Is it the increase in strength after swallowing unknown rotten meat? Look at this picture. It is exactly the same as the unknown rotten meat I just obtained. It can be directly advanced after being swallowed by the dragon. And that beast was still such rubbish after swallowing it, it was even killed by me. Although this has something to do with my being too strong, it can still be reasonably inferred. The stronger the monster itself, or the stronger the bloodline of the monster, the greater the improvement it will get after swallowing this unknown piece of rotten meat. Also, Tianji Pavilion, so grandly wrote, heavy money to buy. It means that its value is enough to make Tianji Pavilion ignore the possibility of others raising prices on the ground. It looks like its function and value are much higher than I imagined. Thinking of this, a trace of excitement flashed in Su Yang's eyes. The most important is, I will let Black Flame Wings swallow this thing at that time, and I can directly complete the advancement. This is the strength of Xingyao rank, and after swallowing it, you can be promoted to the strength of Wei Yu rank. Let's not talk about dozens of rank 5s, it's useless to have a few hundred. Perfect solution. Before that, Su Yang didn't expect it anyway. Just a giant dragon basic instructions guide can perfectly solve the problem. Can only say, using Tianji Pavilion's strategy to attack Tianji Pavilion itself is still easy to use. Now, annoyance has been solved. Su Yang just needs to wait patiently for the people from the exploration group to take the initiative to challenge the secret realm. This big wave is guaranteed to make my mouth full of oil. Even the super experience brought by killing dozens of 5th rank professionals. It may even be enough for him to directly soar to level 80 after completing 3 turns. Only, if you use unknown rotten meat to improve the strength of Black Flame Wings. Then you have to make sure. The first kill of Black Flame Wings must be controlled by oneself. There are 3 reasons. First, you can complete the limited task of Dragon Slaying Heart and get a charge of the blood and soul of the heroic spirit. Second, let the system look for a boss that is 1 level higher than Black Flame Wings as the next concurrent boss target. Third, you can recycle unknown rotten meat. I don't know if I can control Black Flame Wings not to move when I challenge the secret realm. If it's possible, as long as my attack can break through its defense, I should be able to do it with a little time. For Su Yang's question, the system gave a response. When the host also serves as the boss, you can give the boss continuous instructions to make it act according to the instructions. During this period, the host can return to his own body. Remarks: when the boss who has served concurrently is killed by the host, it will automatically be classified as the host's 100% loyal envoy subordinate. When I saw the first 2, it was okay. Until you see the last system description. Su Yang was stunned. After a while, only then did I come back to my senses. This is for myself. Have the rhythm of a black dragon pet. This is a giant dragon. Majestic, powerful, domineering. It is synonymous with dragons. If you can have a black dragon as a royal beast, that will definitely make people go crazy with envy. In combat occupations, there is a profession called Beast Master. It can subdue monsters and make them fight. How powerful a Beast Master must be to subdue the dragon. 6 turns, 7 turns, and myself, do nothing. Just kill the black dragon boss. You can make it your own beast. The main thing is except for the black dragon boss. The rest of the boss that I will concurrently hold in the future. You can also use the same method to make it your own subordinate. This is the powerful existence of boss templates. Not to mention, as long as the concurrent boss is killed by myself every time, then the system will look for bosses with higher and higher ranks. This means, even this Black Flame Wing with a special bloodline. And he can only become the weakest one among his many boss subordinates in the future. Just ask, what can compare to having a group of super ranks? And it has not been weakened. 100% loyal boss subordinates, what is more exciting? Real man, only boss. Excitement flashed in his eyes. Su Yang continued to look at the giant dragon basic instructions guide. Doesn't this mean that there will be a giant dragon boss subordinate immediately, so we have to get to know it well first? Race articles. Giant dragon, one of the top known races. Born with extremely powerful physical and magical talents, his combat power is extremely terrifying. According to the types of giant dragons that have been discovered in the world so far, they are red dragon, green dragon, white dragon, black dragon, and so on. Different types of dragons have different innate characteristics and habits. Except for the secret area, no wild dragons have been found for the time being. At present, there has only been one example of a dragon being subdued in the world. The subdued dragon is a mild-tempered white dragon. When he was young, he was tamed by the 7-turn Beastmaster of Eagle Beauty Federation, Virlia. Good guy. There is only one example of a dragon being subdued in the world. Or was it subdued by a rank 7 beast master? Follow the Dragon Basic Instructions Guide as written. It is the mildest of the dragon races. Similarly, the strength is relatively weak. Look at the black dragon. Black dragon is one of the most powerful species in the giant dragon population. The black dragon has an extremely cruel and bloodthirsty character. Unanimously recognized by the Global Beast Familiar Association as the type of giant dragon that is least likely to be subdued. Su Yang, good guy. Global Beast Familiar Association. This is the same SSS Super Guild as Ring of the God of Law and Temple of Knights. It is considered by them as the type of giant dragon that is least likely to be subdued. It is enough to show how terrifying the black dragon's ferocity and tyranny are. If I let them know about my subjugation of black flame wings, I don't know how they will feel. Continue to look down. Dragon Kingdom. The era of gaming came and continues to this day. Dragon Country, Elf Country, Giant Country and many other countries are listed as the SSS Ultra Ultimate Subspace Country. At present, only Elf Kingdom has a small connection channel with this world, and Dragon Kingdom has no space connection channel with this world. This is why dragons have never been seen in the wild area at present. According to the descriptions of many elf scholars who visited this world, Dragon Kingdom and Elf Kingdom are connected to each other. There are even occasions when giant dragons go to Elf Country to plunder elf girls. If there is a job changer who can rescue the elf girl in the secret realm with the dragon, Elf Kingdom is willing to pay the reward. These contents. Su Yang knew a little bit at school. After the advent of the game era, many subspaces appeared together. Most of the monsters and bosses in various secret dungeons come from these subspaces. Among them, the SSS Ultra Ultimate Subspace Kingdom is the largest and most powerful existence among them. Only, except that Elf Country has a relatively friendly attitude towards humans. The remaining subspace creatures almost all maintain a hostile attitude towards humans. So that's how that elf girl came from. Close the Dragon Basic Instructions Guide. In Su Yang's mind, unconsciously, the elf girl appeared at that time. He looked pitifully curled up in a corner sleeping. Quote. I'll talk about her matter when I challenge the secret realm myself. 3 days passed in a blink of an eye. During these 3 days, Su Yang ate, drank, slept every day, and his life was quite pleasant. A few days ago, I just completed the job change awakening, and now I am a level 58 special hidden professional magic warrior. The pace of soaring along the way finally slowed down a bit, and it also allowed him to have a better grasp of his skyrocketing strength in his spare time. Of course, Su Yang's mentality. If you let other professionals know, it is estimated that they will all vomit blood with anger. They work hard every day, walking on thin ice, either brushing monsters and leveling, or on the way to brushing monsters and leveling. What for? Isn't it just to be able to barely raise a level and make yourself stronger? It turned out that Su Yang was better. Suddenly dashed to level 58. I still feel that I am upgrading too fast. It can only be said that there is no comparison between people. Ding. When Su Yang was sitting on the sofa watching a movie and eating snacks, there was a message notification sound from the guild panel. Normally, Su Yang would definitely not bother to watch. But after the past 2 days, I really feel a little busy. So bored, I opened my eyes. President Lin Yuyun gather at Giant Deep Forest on time at 3 o'clock this afternoon to start the dungeon strategy. Please reply when you receive it. Murong Shui, yes. And you, received. Shu Yan, understood. Ji Muzzy, well, Yuyun, are you going to attack Giant Deep Forest? If I remember correctly, this Giant Deep Forest is the same as the previous Black Dragon Fortress. It is a copy of the Diamond level. A-level guilds, raiding Diamond level dungeons should not be a big problem. The last Ling Show strategy, Black Dragon Fortress, if there is no Su Yang to intervene, it should not be a big problem. Just when Su Yang was about to turn off the communication panel and continue to enjoy a comfortable life, he suddenly thought of something. I have served as boss twice before. Although the mouth is full of oil. But, not the optimal solution yet. Every time you gain experience, due to level restrictions, most of the experience will be lost. This lost experience is not a small amount, but a full 40%. Almost half. The first 2 times were fine. The total amount of experience is not much. So lose less. But this time is different. This time, it is the entire team of the exploration team that is going to be wiped out. Compared with the sum of the previous 2 times, the experience is estimated to be more than 5 times more. If it loses another 40%, it will be really enough to make people meet. It's broken, it's broken. The past 2 days have been too cool. Even the exploration grow, it will take time to integrate the entire raiding team. But now 3 days have passed, and this time is estimated to be running out. In this way, it is necessary to race against time to upgrade to level 50. Then complete the job change and unlock the upper limit of the level. But if you go to the wild to level up, the efficiency is too slow. Silver rank and gold rank dungeons are too low level, and the experience is not enough at all. As for the platinum level dungeon, Su Yang glanced at the dungeon secret map that Bai Ling had given him earlier. At present, the platinum level dungeons near Tianling City have all been wiped out, and have not been refreshed yet. After much deliberation, now there is no way out. Only as a last resort. With this in mind, Su Yang sent 10 messages on the guild communication panel. Su Yang, received. Such a seemingly unremarkable piece of news. It's like throwing a stone into a calm lake. It directly caused the chat channel of Yuyun to explode. Lin Yuyun, Marong Shui, and you, wow handsome brother, you finally responded to the message. Shu Yan, cough cough. And you, pay attention to your image management. G Muzzy. Are you going to meet? Since Su Yang joined Yuyun. From the beginning to the end, he never spoke in the guild group chat. As a result, this came out suddenly, which naturally caused everyone to react fiercely. Lin Yuyun. Su Yang, are you sure you want to conquer the diamond level secret realm with us? The monsters in the secret realm are too dangerous for you. And you, it's okay. Don't be afraid. My sister protects you. Just follow behind her. Marong Shui, Shu Yan, and you talk about Marong Shui every day. How do I feel that you are the guy with impure thoughts? G Muzzy, well, sister and you, exposed. Su Yang. What are these guys talking about? I just want to upgrade my level in the next diamond level dungeon with the group. What are they talking about? And you, don't frame me. My relationship with the handsome brother is just a pure half-sibling relationship, without any impurities. Marong Shui, it's embarrassing. Shu Yan, cover your face. JPG. G Muzzy, stupid. JPG. Lin Yuyun, alright, then pay attention to the assembly time. When you're in the secret realm, I'll ask you to take care of you more. Su Yang, he was about to say. It's useless. Except the boss of the dungeon. For other mobs, he probably can do it in seconds. No matter how bad it is, throw a legendary skill scroll. Axis, direct nuclear leveling is also good. Anyway, I'm about to get rich again soon, so I don't feel bad if I use it. 0. But in the end, Su Yang still didn't say anything, just wrote down the meeting time and quit the group chat. Tianling City, Job Transfer Temple. Lei Shan walked out of the room where the job-changing statue was with his face full of black lines. Gathering all the power of Lingshou after 5 days of crazy leveling in platinum level dungeons, he finally returned to his original level. Just now, he went to claim his rank 5 mission again. Result, what are you afraid of? The place where he needs to obtain the job transfer materials. From Black Dragon Fortress to Giant Deep Forest. Grass. This made Lei Shan directly depressed. Currently, Lingshou is the main team. He was brought back at his own level. The remaining main members, such as Zhao Ming and Qian Yuan, are still several levels behind. In this way, they Chengshou must have no way to go to Zhenglu Giant Deep Forest. But if the people who watched Yuyun have attacked Giant Deep Forest, then Lin Yuyun will reach rank 5 one step ahead of him. Thus, you will get the only ticket for Trial Secret Realm. Oh shit, those are star level weapons and 3 diamond level weapons. Lei Shan is not reconciled to just surrendering to others. No, we have to find a way to stop Yuyun's people from attacking the secret realm. Or, self-destruct. A trace of cruelty flashed in Lei Shan's eyes. Giant Deep Forest belongs to the wild. Attacking job changers will not be punished by the Department of Judgment. If one, able to kill the main members of Yuyun once. Even himself was also killed. But at the very least, it can make them drop 10 levels. As a result, combat power is damaged. They will not be able to clear giant deep forest. If you just do this, Ling Shou is going to completely turn against Yuyun. And in the future, the word of mouth in Tianling City will also be affected to a certain extent. Fight. As long as you can get the entry ticket to Trial Secret Realm, it's worth it. I was cheated before, and now I want to cheat you too. 2:30 p.m. Su Yong came to the secret place of Giant Deep Forest a little earlier and waited. At this time, a lot of people have gathered here. Not to say one, Yuyun are all female members. This group of guys aren't Yuyun people. Just when I was a little confused, suddenly, Su Yong saw a few familiar faces in the crowd. This is not the first fat sheep he slaughtered at that time. Here are all the people from Ling Shou. What are they doing here? Please customize. Get ready to explode. Chapter 51. Looking at the Ling hunting people. Su Yang's heart skipped a beat. They are both A-level guilds, so could it be that this group of guys are here to rob the secret realm? The secret realm above the diamond level is the true spirit secret realm, and the boss will not be refreshed repeatedly. Although secret realms at the diamond level and below will be refreshed repeatedly, it will take a certain amount of time. Therefore, it is natural for guilds to rob secret realms from time to time. It's just that now everyone pays attention to a harmony and prosperity. Things that can be resolved through communication naturally don't need to be done. But from the looks of it, the Ling Shou people seem to be not kind. Those over there, go aside. This place is now reserved for Ling Shou. Stay away from the sensible ones, don't let us do it. The entrance to the secret realm. Several Ling Shou members are chasing people away. At this time, one of the guys with sly eyebrows and mouse eyes. It seems that he thinks that if he joins the A-level guild Ling Shou, he will be invincible in the world. Facing a few passing passers-by, he looked arrogant, just like a rooster with a neck stalked. After seeing a few passers-by leave in a hurry, the guy circled around with satisfaction. His eyes fell on Su Yong. He was taken aback for a moment. Then he walked over frowning. You, yes, just you, don't look at. Can't you hear me? This place is reserved by us Ling Shou. This guy treats Su Yong worse than passers-by. He didn't recognize Su Yong as a member of Yuyun. As we all know, Yuyun only recruits female members. So he didn't think about that at all. The reason for this bad attitude? Simply because Su Yong is so handsome. It kind of stimulated his slightly weak self-esteem. He wanted to rely on the name of the member of Ling Shou, trying to find some ground. Still leaving, 800, saw that Su Yong didn't respond. The guy frowned, and stretched out his hand to push Su Yang's shoulder. But the moment he stretched out his hand, Su Yong, who was still motionless, straight backhand twisted his arm. Then it's like throwing garbage. Throw him away directly. After breaking several trees abruptly, he collapsed to the ground like a dead dog. The movement here immediately attracted the attention of everyone present. The core backbone of Ling Shou, including Lei Shan, also walked towards this side at this time. There is a vague tendency to surround Su Yong in the middle. Who are you? Lei Shan is the president of Ling Shou. At this moment, his brows were raised slightly, and his gaze towards Su Yong was full of unkindness. It's definitely not easy for a guy who can beat that third-rank member to nothing but blood with one blow. It's just that Lei Shan is confused. The guy in front of him looked so young. How can there be such strength? Could it be that disguise was used? When Lei Shan looked at Su Yong was also looking at the first fat sheep he met. You can say it this way. If it wasn't for Lei Shan and the vice presidents of Ling Shou beside him, if I want to develop myself, I guess it will take a while. What is it called? It's called startup capital. Therefore, for several people, Su Yang's perception is not bad. Nothing. It's just that the guy seemed to be attacking me just now, and I just defended myself. Hearing this, the faces of the members of Ling Shou around the side were not very good looking. Do you call it a legitimate defense if you beat someone half to death, leaving only a trace of blood? What's your attitude? Put aside your arrogance. There's a guy who has a good relationship with the three-eyed corner. pointing at Su Yang opening his mouth to spray manure. But I haven't had time to finish. Boom, another muffled sound. Now, on the ground not far away, 2 dead dogs were paralyzed. Here, the atmosphere became a little wrong. Because from beginning to end, everyone in Lingen didn't see clearly how Su Yang made the move. The extreme speed made Su Yang seem to stay in place, without moving at all. Lei Shan was silent for a while. As a 4-turn powerhouse, even he didn't see Su Yang's movements clearly. It's a stubble. They will have to deal with Yuyuan people later. This is not the right time to be hostile. Think about it. Lei Shan's face immediately changed into a smile. Your Excellency, it was their fault that those 2 guys offended you just now. You've taught them a lesson too, or should this be the end of the matter? Casual, Su Yang shrugged, said indifferently. Under the eyes of everyone in Lingshou, slowly found a seat and sat down, waiting for the arrival of Yuyuan. President, just make this kid embarrassed like this. Beside Lei Shan, Zhao Ming glanced at Su Yang rather unhappily. For some reason, he always felt that no matter how he looked at this guy, he didn't like it. This feeling is as if he has taken away some of his treasures. As for where this feeling came from, Zhao Ming didn't know, but unconsciously, he clenched the call of the storm. No need. Lei Shan shook his head. We'll just wait here, waiting for someone who knows Yuyuan to come. There must be a battle. What are you doing to provoke him at this time? 2. Zhao Ming nodded, but suddenly it seems to think of something. What is he doing here? It can't be the thugs invited by Yuyuan. It shouldn't be. Yuyuan, those girls generally don't associate with men. Lei Shan is also uncertain about Su Yang's identity. But I think it should have nothing to do with Yuyuan. 10 minutes later, just as Su Yang closed his eyes and meditated, there was a considerable commotion. Open your eyes and see. It turned out that the person from Yuyuan had arrived. At this time, the 2 guilds are confronting each other, tit for tat. No one noticed Su Yang in this remote corner. President Lei, what do you mean? Lin Yuyun frowned as she looked at the entrance to the secret realm surrounded by Lingshou people. Means nothing. Lei Shan grinned. But then, say nothing, do nothing. He neither let his subordinates get out of the way, nor said anything else. That's the stop. Hey, rogue. Regarding this, Lin Yuyun was very thoughtful. Naturally, he quickly saw through Lei Shan's intentions, and said contemptuously. President Lei, when you were going to attack Black Dragon Fortress, I didn't get in the way. Why, I was wiped out by the group, and now I am doing such a disgusting thing. You want to fight a guild war? I heard. The smile on Lei Shan's face is very rascal. President Lin, whatever you say is what. Anyway, today, no one wants to hit Giant Deep Forest. Ha. The last sentence snorted coldly. The smile on Lei Shan's face disappeared. Raising his hand, Dao Lighting instantly smashed the water thorns that came towards him. Vice President Morong, your president hasn't said to fight yet, so you're going to do it. Moron. Morong Shui didn't even bother to say a word. Lifting the ice spirit staff in his hand, a large amount of ice elements are gathering. Seeing that it is about to drop a large-scale ice-type skill towards Lingshou and directly start the guild battle. But at this moment, a voice from Lingshou and Yuyuan, which everyone is quite familiar with, sounded. Are you saying that no one wants to fight this giant deep forest today? How old are you? How old? This voice, while Morong Shui was slightly taken aback. Even the spell guide in his hand was accidentally interrupted. Su Yang, not only her, other people from Yuyuan. They all stared at Su Yang, who was slowly walking towards this side with flickering eyes. The Grand Dukes were in a tense confrontation, and they really didn't notice Su Yang in the corner. At this time, after seeing their respective reactions are naturally different. Among them, Yuyuan's side. Lin Yuyu's gaze was calmer. There is more curiosity in the eyes looking at Su Yang. For her, the president, Su Yang, a special, new member, has too many secrets. Completed the 5-star job transfer from the very beginning, became the VIP of the temple, and forcibly joined Yuyuan. Later, the owner of the Xingyao class weapon in Anyu's mouth, and the suspected heir of the S-class guild. Until now what I said just now. Obviously he didn't take Li Shan, or even the whole Lingshou, seriously. Otherwise, how could it be possible to say, "Who are you?" Such an aggressive statement. "What cards do you have?" A gleam flashed in Lin Yuyan's beautiful eyes. Look at Xu Yan again. It was also the first time she met Su Yang. The first reaction was, what An Yu said was true. This guy is indeed handsome, which is a bit outrageous. No wonder An Yu is so passionate and shameless. By the way, she also thought of the little beauty with a hidden profession brought back by her younger sister Xu Yan. It seems to be called Ji Yu Xuechen, right? According to Xu Yan, Ji Yu Xuechen seems to have been secretly in love with Su Yang for a long time. She is a hidden profession stronger than Murong, and her future achievements are very likely to surpass them. Tut tut, it can only be said that a boy who is handsome, strong, and old enough is really attractive to women. Besides Xu Yan, Ji Muzzy blinked his eyes. No one knows what is going on in that little head. As for An Yu, it was the exact opposite of Murong Shui's intentionally looking elsewhere. She beckoned to Su Yang generously and said hello with a smile. Yu Yun, everyone's reaction. All the people in Lingshou were dumbfounded. To be honest, they never thought about the relationship between Su Yang and Yu Yun at first. More importantly, Yu Yun, the attitude of the women towards Su Yang, directly make most people in Lingshou envy and hate. As a well-known goddess-level figure in Tianling City, they are the dream lovers of many men, they are untouchable goddesses. But to Su Yang, showed another side of them. This made many single dogs in Lingshou hate their teeth. I can't wait to go up and chop Su Yang to relieve my anger. It even includes vice presidents like Zhao Ming and Qian Yuan. Especially Zhao Ming. He once tried to court An Yu. But in the end, An Yu simply ignored him. From the beginning to the end, what the two said was limited to An Yu's two sentences, "Who are you?" and, "Crazy." It's not. Let Zhao Ming, who was already unhappy with Su Yang, even more furious, he raised the longbow in his hand and shot 2 arrows directly at Su Yang. Swish, swish, 2 arrows came through the air. Su Yang didn't even hide. Terrifying speed and mental attributes. Let his reaction speed reach an extremely exaggerated level. Arrows are fast, but Su Yang, faster. Between lightning and flint. Holds 2 arrows with ease. Then backhanded and threw it back. Pooh, pooh. 2 arrows hit Zhao Ming directly. He, who hadn't reacted yet, was shot. He uttered a terrible scream. Zhao Ming's screams were ignored. Su Yang's eyes fell directly on Lei Shan. I sort of figured it out. You are here to make trouble today, right? This good dungeon of the secret realm must be blocked to prevent people from brushing. Think everyone has as much time for this mess as you do. Do you understand that time is money? If I miss the opportunity to slaughter a fat sheep. Slaughter fat sheep? What slaughter fat sheep? Lei Shan was stunned. But, being scolded so hard by Su Yang. Plus Su Yang's previous sentence, "How old are you?" Let him lose his face as the leader of the A-level guild, and naturally he was already burning with anger, becoming angry from embarrassment. You, give me another weapon. The voice has not yet fallen. Lei Shan was about to make a move. Cast some thunder skills. Give Su Yang an impressive lesson. But at this moment, in his perspective, Su Yang suddenly took out something like a scroll. This is skill scroll. Lei Shan's pupils shrank slightly. But I didn't pay too much attention. In his opinion, even if it is a perfect level or even an epic level skill scroll, with the strength of Lingshou it can be completely defended. Brothers, open the enchantment. Defense skills. Yes, Lingen, everyone immediately displayed their defensive skills. Immediately afterwards, one after another defensive light curtains gradually lit up, and slowly gathered into a giant protective barrier. This is rare group skills, aura of 1,000 layers of defense. It is the most commonly used collective defense method when the guild is fighting the book. However, facing spirit hunting, the enchantment opened by everyone. Su Yang didn't even glance at it. The moment he turned around, behind, extremely strong mana tide start to surge. Accompanied by the tyrannical elemental atmosphere, it rages and gathers in the space. This is the legendary skill scroll. Storm Thunder 1,000 Blades, release. Boom, boom, boom. The storm is roaring. Thunder is raging. Legendary skill power. Almost instantaneously shattered and disintegrated the 1,000 layers of defense halo cast by the spirit hunting people. Let those hundreds of dumbfounded faces, filled with fear and horror. Just an instant, terrifying elemental destructive power. Let them turn into a white light. Disappeared in place. In less than 5 seconds. Soul hunting. The group is destroyed. The flames soaring into the sky after the nuclear piece directly became the background board behind Su Yang. Real man. Never look back at the explosion. Boom, boom, boom. The violent spell fluctuations are still going on. Almost completely empty the entire surrounding wild area. Because this area has been cleared by spirit hunting before. So the only ones who get hurt are themselves. At this time, the raging tide of spells roared. Yun everyone's faces. It is full of strong shock. This is a legendary skill scroll. That's right, Ling Shou among the crowd, the members of the main group are basically 4 rank. What else could kill them in an instant, other than legendary skill scrolls? But the problem is the preciousness of this legendary scroll. Not even inferior to Xingyao level weapons. Because instant skill scroll, all the energy is sealed in it. No need to recite, no need to recharge, it can be released directly. No matter what level of job changer it is the trump card in the bottom of the box. Call, in everyone's heart, they all took a deep breath. Star level weapons, legendary level instant skill scrolls. These things, even Lin Yuyun, the leader of the A-level guild, cannot have it. In this way, if Su Yang is not the core of an S-level guild, no one will. When everyone in Yuyun was still in shock, Su Yang came to the president Lin Yuyun. Just released the power of the legendary skill scroll. Much stronger than he had expected. Ling Shou unexpectedly had no resistance at all, and was directly wiped out by the group. In this way, Su Yang found out, even if you don't follow the group, use the remaining 4 charges of the legendary skill scroll. Maybe you can directly give Giant Deep Forest to Nuclei. Thinking of this, Su Yang didn't write any ink, and asked Lin Yuyun directly. President, I am now level 58. If you team up to complete this dungeon together, after the strategy is over, can I reach level 60? If not, maybe, I want to brush these 21 dungeons alone. Lin Yuyun managed to recover from the shock. As the most stable point in the entire guild. The previous she was also completely in shock. This shock wasn't just because Su Yang took out the legendary skill scroll. More because Su Yang didn't seem to consider the consequences at all, and directly wiped out the Ling Shou group. Undoubtedly telling others, he doesn't care at all. In other words, A-level guilds may be nothing in his eyes. And the person who can ignore the influence of an A-level guild in this way, undoubtedly, can only come from an S-level guild. Moreover, the status in the S-level guild is definitely not low. This is what shocked Lin Yuyun the most. Invisible brain supplement, the most deadly. Regarding the fact that he has been fabricated as the core, successor of the top power, of the S-level guild and so on. Su Yang didn't know, but if he knew, it's sure to be amused. He really didn't take Ling Shou seriously. A-level guilds are nothing to him. But all this, it is not derived from the identity imagined by Yuyun, but only from Su Yang's confidence in his own strength. He believed in his own developmental speed. Believe in what you can achieve. That's why he doesn't take Ling Shou seriously. Complete brainstorming, Lin Yuyun came back to her senses. Forcibly suppress the fluctuations of emotions. A little simple calculation for Su Yang. After finishing the calculation, he nodded slightly and spoke slowly. Don't worry, even with the experience debuff. The experience of clearing the diamond level dungeon is enough for you to upgrade to level 2. Wait, you're level 58. Lin Yuyun just escaped from the shock. I thought I could behave a little calmer next time. In the end, he still couldn't escape being shocked again. The beautiful eyes looking at Su Yang were full of shock, as if looking at a monster. Her memory is still stuck in Su Yang's refusal to be taken, and she has to complete the job transfer task of the second rank by herself. Now, he actually told himself, he has reached level 58. What kind of ghostly leveling speed is this? Not only Lin Yuyun. The rest of them, even the most arrogant Murong Shui. At this time, they all looked at Su Yang with disbelief. Obviously, he was shocked by the level 58 he said. Since we can reach level 60, let's go together. Heard that the experience is enough to rise to level 60 by yourself. Then Su Yang naturally wouldn't waste the remaining 4 charges. After all, it is a legendary skill scroll, so if you can keep it, it is naturally the best. Oh, alright. After Lin Yuyun regained her strength, she nodded. It's just that she had an inexplicable strange feeling. Why do I seem to be being guided by Su Yang to do things? It's clear, it seems like she is the president. He shook his head slightly. Get that thought out of your head. Lin Yuyun integrated that Yuyun people a little bit. Entered giant deep forest. Tianling City. City revival. With the brightening of white lights, it immediately attracted the attention of countless passers-by. What's going on? A resurrection of this magnitude. Which guild was accidentally wiped out? Many people stopped to watch. Until you see the guild marks on the shoulders of those resurrected. Everyone was shocked. This group of people, is it someone from Spirit Hunter? This is an A-level guild. What kind of dungeon can have the ability to destroy the Lingshou group? After resurrection, Lei Shan's face was ashen. The blue veins on his forehead were throbbing, showing his anger at this moment. Another death penalty, 10% level drop. This week, he managed to brush back the level, but now he has fallen short of success. On the edge of Thunder Mountain, the faces of the other vice presidents were also very ugly. Especially Zhao Ming. The anger in his eyes at this moment. It's like a beast that chooses and devours people. Among the group of Lingshou, the humiliation he received was undoubtedly the most. As a 4-turn archer, the arrows he shoots, he was caught with bare hands. Even, in turn, shot him in the way of throwing. This round and round, the stark contrast formed as equivalent to rubbing his face against the ground. Disgraceful, lost at home. President, that dog thing. Zhao Minggang was about to speak. It was directly interrupted by Lei Shan's fierce stare. Shut up. A stare plus such a roar. Just put Zhao Ming in a circle. This is the first time Lei Shan has been so irritable to him. What are you looking at? Not convinced. If it wasn't for your disagreement, you would just draw the arrow and shoot. They would have done it right away. Think about it with your dog's brain. The person who can throw a skill scroll at random and wipe us out, is it you or I who can provoke him? You still want to scold. If you have the ability to scold in front of him, I want to see how many lives you can survive. Until this time. Only then did Zhao Ming come back to his senses. Thinking of the horror element fluctuations that filled the sky before death. Immediately, the usually high-spirited vice president broke out in a cold sweat. Yup. That terrifying elemental fluctuation. At the very least, it is a legendary skill scroll. A person who can easily take out a skill scroll of this level. How could he be provoked by the vice president of an A-level guild? Think again. Yuyun everyone's special attitude towards Su Yang. I see. Zhao Ming. Understood. That boy definitely has some kind of great background. Otherwise, how can you make a group of goddesses favor you with your forehand, and take out a legendary scroll with your backhand to bombard people? The more he thought about it, the more uncomfortable Zhao Ming felt, and the more flustered he felt. President, then what shall we do next? What else can I do? Wait for Yuyun's people to come back, and go to the boss to apologize. Yes. At the same time, Everwind City. As the first-level main city in the southeast region. No matter in scale or in prosperity, Yongfang City is hundreds, thousands of times stronger than Tianling City. At this time, inside the Tianji Pavilion off Eternal Wind City, the commander in charge here is Jia Yu. He was standing at the door of Tianji Pavilion with a respectful expression. This appearance, if people see it, absolutely will be seriously surprised. To know, Tianji Pavilion, who is a member of X Alliance. Even among the top forces in Longsha, they still ranked first. And Jia Yue, as the general manager of the first-level main city Tianji Pavilion. Not only the strength is superior, but the status is also terrifyingly high. Even facing the city lord of Yongfang City, there is no need to show such a humble demeanor. But at this moment, he is like a servant. He lowered his head slightly, focused his eyes on his toes, and never raised his eyes. Finally, with several crisp bells ringing, on the road that has always been calm, a magical scene happened. I saw A translucent spirit horse. As if from another world, it slowly emerged from the void. The crisp bell sound before came from the silver bell tied around the spirit horse's neck. And on that spirit horse, sitting there was a girl with long purple hair. The girl's appearance is extremely beautiful, and it is not an exaggeration to describe it as a shameful flower with a closed moon. The slender jade legs are sideways on both sides of the spirit horse, as coveted as an artistic creation. Especially those bare feet without any shoes or socks, white and delicate, enough to make any man's blood run wild. Only, the girl's cold expression, like a millennium of cold ice, it is impossible for people to have any thoughts of approaching. I saw her pat the Lingma's neck lightly. The spirit horse entered the court again just like when it came. Only the remaining girl stayed where she was. The toes are suspended, like a fairy. Her name is Luo Ling'er, the daughter of the pavilion master of Tianji Pavilion. This heavy identity is the reason why Jia Yu greeted him here so respectfully. However, in addition to this fitness, Luo Ling'er has a more prominent identity. That is, young core members of Global Beast Familiar Association. Global Beast Familiar Association. The is a true behemoth. A super organization at the same level as X-Alliance. This time Luo Ling'er came to Yongfang City. There is only one purpose. That is, go to Black Dragon Fortress and try to subdue that Black Dragon. This is an extremely difficult challenge for Luo Ling'er. Currently, globally, only Virlia of Eagle America Federation managed to subdue the dragon. And what she subdued was the most gentle Beilong. And the Black Dragon, as the most powerful and cruelest race among giant dragons. The difficulty of subduing it is naturally much higher than other types of giant dragons. Only Luo Ling'er is so talented. The emerging beast familiar genius who has been given high hopes, is able to accomplish this feat. Jia Tongguan, get me a room, I need to rest. Also, you told the secret exploration group in Tianling City not to allow anyone to enter the Dragon Fortress factory without my permission. Luo Ling'er ordered coldly. Good lady, this way please. You just rest, I will arrange the rest. Rao is a high-ranking general manager like Jia Yu. In front of Luo Ling'er, she could still feel great pressure. This kind of pressure comes from Luo Ling'er's coldness that keeps people thousands of miles away. After Luo Ling'er rested, Jia Yu, who was walking on thin ice, finally breathed a sigh of relief. To be frank, Luo Ling'er's visit was rather sudden. He also just learned the news a few hours ago. After returning to his room, he contacted Zhou Tai directly, and informed him of the corresponding plan change. From now on, before Miss arrives, you have to be careful not to allow anyone to enter Black Dragon Fortress. At that time, when Miss arrives, you will accompany her to enter together. At that time, you should have to disable the dragon first, and then let the young lady subdue it. In short, when the time comes, you will do what Miss asks you to do, understand? Clear. Over the phone. Zhou Tai nodded. As a small governor of a second-tier city, Luo Ling'er is definitely not something he can see on weekdays. Zhou Tai has only heard that Miss is Longshaw's #1 beast-controlling genius. Only, this is actually trying to subdue a black dragon. Is this really possible? Just as Zhou Tai was thinking, Jia Yu's voice sounded again. I will talk to Lu Si over there. Be careful, don't kill the black dragon. Otherwise, if you delay the important event of the young lady, you all know the consequences yourself. In the lower right corner is the figure of Luo Ling'er. Giant deep forest in the dungeon of the secret realm. In the tall woods, a bird creature comparable in size to a black bear. It was pecking at the corpse of some kind of animal on the ground. Level 85 giant bird. This monster is called a giant bird. With a huge beak, it is their heavenly weapon. It can easily penetrate the skull of the enemy and is extremely destructive. At this time, the giant bird was still devouring the carrion corpses on the ground. Didn't notice at all. There is already a shadow. Came behind it. Swish. The dagger in his hand slammed down. A number lights up on the giant bird's head. Life value -22,133. The blood bar dropped by half. Su Yong is quite satisfied with his injury. Although this is just an ordinary monster, it is still level 85. House. Giant bird is under attack. Let out a terrible scream. Immediately began to look around for the guy who attacked him. When it came full circle. Finally, 100 meters away. Met a group of human women. It's just that the giant bird is a little uncertain. How did they attack him from such a long distance? Just when the giant bird was in a daze. From behind, another backstab fell. Life point minus 21,894. Boom. The confusion in my heart has not been solved. The giant bird crashed down and turned into a cold corpse. Afterwards, Su Yang was released from the state of shadow body. The damage is not bad. The secrecy is also extremely strong. Even if I don't use the legendary skill scroll, I can still clear the mobs in this dungeon. I just don't know if I can deal with elite monsters and bosses. Try it when you meet elite monsters. Think so. Su Yang returned to the team. In the ranks, look at Su Yang who returned to the team after taking out the giant bird with ease. The shock in everyone's hearts was even stronger than when they were outside the secret area just now. This is because, when outside the secret, what Su Yang shows is more of a strong mystery of identity. Being able to own a legendary skill scroll, and destroying an A-level guild group without any hesitation. But now, what Su Yang showed, it was his exaggerated combat power. Level 58. Replace it with someone else. It probably won't be able to break through the giant bird's defense, right? As a result, Su Yang killed it with 2 stabs. In shock, Lin Yuyun was the first to come to his senses. After taking a deep breath, he commanded the team to continue advancing. Middle of the line, Su Yang walked leisurely. There are Yuyun people there. He didn't need to make a move at all. Just lie down and collect experience and it's over, happy. Ho 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 ho. Ahead of the team, suddenly there was a shocking roar. What followed was a slight tremor on the ground. It seemed that there was some huge terrifying existence, walking towards the team step by step. Soon, that huge figure appeared in front of everyone. Elite level 95 giant rock bear. Attention everyone. This is an elite monster. Get ready, see that huge giant rock storm bear. Lin Yuyun commanded the team to change their formation to make them closer together. In this way, if the elite monster launches a charge later, it can better complete the defense. Let me try. Lin Yuyun's command is not over yet. Suddenly Su Yang's voice was heard. Immediately afterwards, Su Yang, who was still beside them, disappeared in an instant. Lin Yuyun, see Su Yang charge directly at the rock bear. And you had a worried look on his face. Handsome brother is so impulsive, nothing will happen, right? Sighed. Murong Shui snorted lightly, although there was a hint of worry in his eyes. But still turned his head arrogantly, pretending not to care and said. Since he wants to go, it shows that he has confidence in his own strength. If something happens to him if he can't fight, it's his own fault. Boom. The voice has not yet fallen. Only a more violent vibration was heard. Far away, the gigantic body of the giant rock bear. It had already crashed down, kicking up a cloud of dust. Guild member Su Yang, killed, Muyin Storm. With the sound of the log information prompt. Murong Shui, who had only spoken halfway, swallowed the rest of the words abruptly. On the faces of the rest of the people, there was a deep shock, and they didn't know what happened just now. Just now Su Yang killed an ordinary monster with 2 swords. They can still accept it. But why? Now I have encountered an elite monster. Killed faster than before. That's not all. In the blink of an eye. That looks obviously good. The strong elite monster is dead. This Su Yang, really a monster. When everyone was shocked. Su Yang has already retreated. He used shadow body just now. Stealthily circled behind the giant rock storm bear. Then used Revenant Mark to increase the damage by 300%. At the same time, for the first time, he used the legendary skill he had just acquired, Double Destruction Blade. Whether it is Revenant Mark or Double Destruction Blade, they are top-level skills with extremely high multipliers. Coupled with the armor-piercing effect of high-level weapons on low-level targets. Under the superposition of the 3, it even killed that giant rock bear instantly with a single blow. You can say it this way. This is already the strongest blow that he can unleash so far. So Su Yang is quite satisfied with this effect. Only, this Double Destruction Blade still consumes too much mana. Every time you use it, you need to consume half of the magic hall. Coupled with the use of Revenant Mark and Shadow Body for a certain period of time. That is to say, Su Yang's current mental attributes are ridiculously high, and his magic power is quite abundant, otherwise he would have bottomed out long ago. Follow the team all the way forward. Because the evaluation of his own combat power has been completed. So Su Yang didn't make any more moves, but lay down directly. On the contrary, and Yu would come over to chat with Su Yang whenever he didn't need to fight monsters. In this regard, Su Yang is not disgusted either. After all, and Yu is a top beauty. In any case, just looking at it is a kind of enjoyment. It's just that this elder sister seems to be a little too blatant about her own thoughts. Su Yang, do you have a girlfriend yet? Su Yang, do you like older sister or younger sister? Su Yang, what type of girl do you like? Have to say. And Yu has a lively and bold personality. It really bothered Su Yang to some extent. Finally, just when Su Yang was about to say something. However, and Yu was directly dragged away by Murong Shui, who was walking over. What does it look like? Don't lose face to us, Yu Yun. Murong Shui pursed her lips and said helplessly. And Yu didn't care at all, and put his arms around Murong Shui's neck with his back. Why, couldn't it be because I'm afraid that my handsome brother will be snatched away by me? Murong Shui, Su Yang, in short, Guy is here. No matter where it is, the atmosphere is always good. Even in the dungeon that is being raided. In this case, it lasted until the boss battle before it got better. After all, this is a diamond level boss, so don't be distracted. When Lin Yuyun commanded the team to attack the boss, Su Yang glanced slightly. Can only say, there is also a gap between boss and boss. This secret dungeon is called Giant Deep Forest. But in the end, the boss is not a real giant. It was a degraded half-blood giant with rather thin bloodline power. Whether in defense or in destructive power, this degraded half-blood giant is far inferior to Black Flame Wings. Of course, after all, it is also a diamond-level boss. It can still be compared with Black Flame Wings interfered by Dragon-Slaying Heart. The time it takes to conquer the boss is about an hour or so. With the fall of the degraded half-blood giant, the settlement of the secret dungeon has also officially started. First of all, it is the settlement of experience. The experience brought by clearing the entire diamond level copy. It directly raised Su Yang from level 58 to level 60, reaching the upper limit of the level. The 40 attribute points obtained by upgrading to level 2 are directly and evenly distributed to strength and spirit. Have to say, the promotion of the 5-star job transfer is an outrageous exaggeration. After completing 2 5-star career transfers, Su Yang can gain 20 attribute points for every level up. Upgrading by 2 levels is equivalent to someone else improving by 4 levels. Accumulate over time, assuming that the next 3, 4, and 5 turns. Every job transfer is completed with a 5-star job transfer. Then Su Yang's attributes will reach an absolutely crushing height. Experience settlement completed. The rest are equipment and props dropped by small monsters, elite monsters and bosses. Almost all of these dropped equipment are gold ranks, and only a few are platinum ranks. Wow, 2 pieces of diamond level equipment exploded. Shu Yan, who was counting the equipment, suddenly let out a cry of surprise. I saw that among a pile of platinum level equipment, there were 2 pieces of equipment that shone far more brilliantly than the rest of the equipment. Su Yang. He glanced at the crowd who were excitedly discussing the distribution around the diamond level equipment. Then he glanced at the pile of diamond level equipment that Curry was lying in his personal cabin. Su Yang said, "It's just diamond level equipment. Need to be so excited." Giant Deep Forest exit. With flashes of white light, the figures of Su Yang and Yu Yun, middle-aged woman, appeared. After completing the dungeon strategy, Yu Yun, everyone is in a good mood. Even Lin Yuyun, who is usually mature and stable, could hardly hide the smile on his face at this time. This is because, after clearing Giant Deep Forest, she gathered all the materials needed for the 5th turn. As long as you go to the job-changing temple, you can complete 5 jobs. In this way, the entry ticket for Trial Secret Realm is here. President, let's all have a good meal together and celebrate. Amidst the laughter, and Yu suggested with a smile. A pair of beautiful eyes, but looked at Su Yang. This kind of celebration banquet, Yu Yun, needless to say, everyone will definitely go. The only thing to watch is whether Su Yang will go. To this, Su Yang was about to speak. But suddenly, there was a system prompt sound in my mind. Ding. Challenger intrusion detected. Please connect. Please customize. What's the situation? Su Yang was taken aback. Someone invaded the secret place. This is the secret quest. People started to attack Black Dragon Fortress. Depend on. I haven't even completed my transition yet. Need to move so fast. Wrong. Not a member of the exploration group. If memory serves me, if it is a guild invasion, it will be displayed when the system prompts. But now when the system asks whether to connect, it does not show the intrusion guild, the number of people. In this way, if it is not a member of the exploration group, who would it be? But whoever, you must go in and see for yourself. Otherwise, if you accidentally lose the first kill, it will be a big loss. Immediately, Su Yang directly rejected an Yu's invitation. Sister and you, I still have to leave before. After speaking, the figure immediately disappeared in place without staying for a second. What? And you froze for a moment. When I come back to my senses, Su Yang has disappeared in front of his eyes. And Yu's mind was hit 10,000 points. If you don't want to go, then you can simply refuse. What the hell is this instant disappearance? When An Yu was full of grievances, Shu Yan suppressed a smile. Walked to An Yu's side. He patted her on the shoulder and comforted her. You, do you understand the psychology of little boys? You posted up so enthusiastically, it's no wonder he doesn't run away. Learn more from Murong Shui, some boys just like to be so cold. Murong Shui. After leaving Yu Yun, everyone. Su Yang directly took out the special teleportation scroll. It is different from ordinary city portal scrolls. This special teleportation scroll can set the teleportation point by itself. This is what Su Yang left behind. After all, he didn't know when someone would challenge the secret realm. And when connected to the boss, he can't move, so it's definitely not safe in the wild. Therefore, although the price of this special teleportation scroll is several times higher than that of ordinary city portal scrolls, Su Yang still bought a lot at once. At this point, use the scroll. White light flashed, and the power of space surged. When he opened his eyes again, Su Yang had already returned to his home. Immediately no longer hesitated, and immediately started the connection with the Black Dragon boss. Black Dragon Fortress. Endless monsters are roaming in the mist. Be ready to hunt any prey that strays into the mist. At this time, a kobold located at the outpost of the level suddenly wrinkled his nose and looked not far away. It seems there was a whiff of prey. A figure slowly emerged from the mist. The kobold let out a roar of excitement. Ho 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 ho. Wielding the giant animal bone stick in his hand, it is about to step forward and smash the intruder's head. But at this moment, several boulders fell. The kobolds were directly smashed into meat sauce. HMPH, filthy creature. With a contemptuous voice sounded. The figure of the intruder in the mist appeared. The light golden mage robe is embellished with various petals and leaves. On the silver white mage's staff, several gemstones shining with magic power are inlaid. With golden hair and light blue eyes, this young man looks extremely handsome. But the most striking, or his pointy elf ears. It is clear, the man, CBCC, is an elf mage. It took so much effort. And finally located the secret realm where the princess is. The evil and stupid black dragon dared to snatch the noble princess Lilith. A look of contempt flashed in the man's eyes. Looking around. Dirty environment. There are soulless monsters roaming around. There was a nasty stench in the air. If it wasn't for saving the princess, how could he, the second son of the noble Lawrence family, be willing to set foot in such a disgusting place? But, as the most magical genius of the Lawrence family, today, he has successfully promoted to rank 6. There are countless legendary spells mastered. As long as you cast a few legendary spells at will, you can easily wipe out this place. If it wasn't for the fear of hurting the princess. Akare Lawrence thought so. His eyes fell on the monster that was heading towards him like a wave in front of him. Raising his hand, while waving the silver white mage's staff, a magic spell formed and fell. Boom, boom, boom. Spell tides surge. The endless magic power turned into a blade. Instantly killed this group of monsters instantly, completing a massacre. Rubbish. Akale Lawrence pursed his lips. Ho 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 ho. Confronted with his terrifying spells. Although there have been countless casualties. But there are still a large number of monsters rushing towards him. It's just that in this wave of monsters there are many more elite level monsters. Level 96 Kobold Chieftain. Level 98 Dragon Word Priest. Level 95 Dragonblood Warrior. Kobold Chief. I'll smash your head, disgusting elf. Priest of Dragon Words. Let me call Lord Athos' real name, and under his witness, offer your blood as a sacrifice. Dragon Blood Warrior. If I kill you, Master Athos will definitely reward me with a drop of complete dragon blood. As the elite monsters lead the ordinary monsters to charge. Akale Lawrence didn't move at all. That cold and handsome face. Instead, there was a hint of sarcasm. Athos. Is this the name of that ignorant black dragon? As far as I know, it's just a black dragon at the first hatchling stage. In front of me, it's just garbage that can be killed with a few forbidden spells. As for you, not even trash. The voice fell. Akale Lawrence raised his hand. The top of the silver-white staff. A powerful force erupted from the faintly shining blood-red gemstone. Next second I saw an illusory giant figure suddenly appearing in front of Akale Lawrence. Kill them, open the way. Akale ordered lightly. This is a true giant, after being killed by Akale again. With a special secret method, his blood soul was imprisoned in this blood soul gem. In this way, you can use magic power to summon it to fight for him. At this time, the giant's figure gradually solidified. It's just that the empty eyes showed that it was just a puppet controlled by people. But even so, the terrifying power of a giant. Still enough to be daunting and trembling. I saw it raise those huge hands. He directly grabbed a dragon blood warrior who charged over. Roar. The giant let out a roar. The hands suddenly moved to the sides. Swish. That poor dragon blood warrior. It was torn in half so abruptly. Boom. Throw away the two halves of the corpse in your hand. The giant's eyes fell on the other elite monsters again. 4. For the glory of Lord Athos. The previous tragedy. The remaining elite monsters, although the voice was trembling a little because of fear. However, he still shouted the honorable name of Black Flame Wings, mustered up his courage, and rushed towards the giant. The Dragon Word Priest activated the skill Dragon Word Encouragement in the rear. There were bursts of sounds like dragon roars. The charging monsters have been greatly strengthened. The Kobold Chief also raised the bone stick in his hand. Kobold's exhilarating aura. It is also a bonus buff. Combining the two, the attributes of all the monsters have nearly doubled. However, facing a giant, these are obviously still far from enough to see. That terrifying power, that impregnable defense. Every time you raise your hand to shoot, it is enough to kill a large number of monsters. Just lift your foot and step on it, and there is another big ball of meat sauce. With massacres again and again, the giant came to the priest of Longyan. There was no emotion in those empty eyes. Grabbing the trembling dragon word priest, he stuffed it directly into his mouth. Quote. Giants are indeed more disgusting than dragons. Watch your own giant puppet behave instinctively. A gleam of disdain flashed in Akale Lawrence's eyes. But there is this giant blood soul. There is no need for him to personally execute these dirty guys. It's here, only the black dragon. It's worth letting him do it himself. Thinking of this, Akale Lawrence raised his head. That pair of icy eyes looked at the magnificent fortress in the distance. If nothing else, the evil black dragon that took away Princess Lilith lived here. Dragon's blood, dragon's heart. Except for being favored by the princess, it doesn't count as a waste of my trip. Look away. Akale directed the giant blood soul to continue advancing. He couldn't wait to slay the black dragon and win the admiration and love of the princess. At the same time, he still intends to, after killing the black dragon, in the same way, imitate this giant to make a new blood soul. Anyway, the blood soul stone on this staff is enough to accommodate 2 blood souls. Black Dragon Fortress, just connected to Su Yang of the Black Dragon boss. Those icy golden dragon eyes. Through the endless fog. Falling to outpost level. There, a massacre is taking place. Is this an elf? Moreover, it didn't come from the entrance of the secret realm, but entered through a space crack. Could it be from elf country? It looks like it's not easy to mess with. At any rate, he is also a person who has passed rank 5. Su Yang can tell the strength of the elf mage in front of him. Definitely far more than the quest group. Most likely. Reached 6 turns. How strong is the 6th rank? Su Yang doesn't know. But it is certain that now he is definitely not an opponent. Otherwise, eat that piece of carrion. Promoted to the Wei Yu rank. Su Yang thought about it. If you are promoted to Wei Yu rank, then all problems are solved. No matter how strong this elf mage is, he cannot be his opponent. But the problem is, if you take unknown rotten meat now, you will be promoted to the Wei Yu rank. Then the rank of Black Dragon Fortress copy will increase accordingly. At that time, the group of exploration group will come to the strategy. Impossible, they will definitely find stronger human shit. When the time comes, how can I ruthlessly slaughter them? Doctor, if you don't take unknown rotten meat now, if you accidentally get killed by this guy, then you will lose a lot. Not only did he lose a chance to slaughter a fat sheep, he even lost the chance to activate Dragon Slaying Heart and obtain Heroic Blood Soul Recharge. It is even more impossible to obtain Black Flame Wings, a black dragon subordinate who is very likely to have a special bloodline. Tidge, look at it this way. The loss is too great. That being the case, Su Yang made up his mind. If that time is really desperate, then you can only choose to give up the opportunity to kill a large wave of question group and choose to be promoted to Wei Chi rank. I was thinking about. Su Yang was just about to take action. But suddenly, a thought appeared in his mind. This elf mage. Come here, what is it for? If it is an ordinary job changer, it is to kill the boss, gain experience, equipment. But the other party is a 6th order mage. How could a 6th level mage personally come to the Xingyao level copy? He probably doesn't like the rewards revealed here. Su Yang realized. I seem to have discovered Wadian. His eyes were no longer focused on the elf mage. Instead, he looked at an elf girl imprisoned on a tower not far away. Could it be that the elf mage came here to save this elf girl? Good guy. It can make a 6th level elf mage. From Kingdom of Elves to the secret space through the space crack. What kind of identity is this elf girl? Could it be possible? An elf princess? Think so. Su Yang raised its huge dragon claw, put it on the prison of the high tower, and patted it lightly. Such a huge movement awakened the sleeping elf girl from her dream. The first sight that catches the eye. It is the pair of majestic and cold golden dragon pupils. Lilith, who just woke up, froze for a moment. But soon, she came back to her senses. A look of panic flashed across that beautiful face. After curling up in a corner, she looked at Su Yang pretending to be calm. You, what are you going to do? Who are you? This is the first time Su Yang speaks as the Black Dragon boss. That deep and majestic voice showed the majesty of the dragon. It's just that it may be the first time to speak, and it still seems a little awkward. But even so, at the moment when the voice fell, Lilith raised her head in astonishment. The shocked appearance seemed to be looking at a monster. You can talk. Su Yang, don't dragons speak? At that time, I was reading Basic Guide to the Giant Dragon. It's as if they didn't notice this at all. In fact, no normal person would care whether a giant dragon can speak. Because this is not of any help at all to the secret realm, it is just some kind of cold knowledge. Only, since it is already like this, then there's no need to pretend. Tell me your identity. Lilith looked at the black dragon in front of her. His gaze changed from shock to deep confusion. What happened to the black dragon in front of me? First, he spoke inexplicably. Then, ask yourself, what is your identity? Isn't it the one who plundered itself here from the Kingdom of Elves? At that time, Lilith was visiting the territory she was assigned to, accompanied by her servant. As a result, suddenly, the black dragon flapped its wings. Sweeping down from the sky, the black flames from its mouth trampled its own territory into a mess. Those heroic servants sacrificed themselves to protect themselves, which led to their captivity by the black dragon. Then, no one would think of it at all. In the inner hinterland of Elf Country, unexpectedly, a black dragon appeared inexplicably. You know, in the connection between Elf Country and Dragon Country. However, there are extremely powerful elf warriors and elf mages guarding it. Before the defense line is breached, it is impossible for a giant dragon to pass through the defense line and enter. Lilith couldn't remember what happened afterwards. She only remembered that she was wrapped in the black dragon's spiritual power and flew in the air for a while. Immediately afterwards, there seemed to be some kind of spatial rift, which transported the black dragon here together with him. Boom! Just as Lilith was recalling the previous events, the huge dragon claw slapped on the prison again. The terrifying power even made the whole tower a bit crumbling. Say, two cold words spit out from Hailong's mouth. Those majestic golden dragon pupils seemed to be filled with irresistible power. Under this icy gaze, Lilith's body trembled slightly, and she could only cry a little. My name is Lilith Severiah, the sixth daughter of the Honorable Queen Seveliah. Queen Severiah. After hearing what Lilith said, Su Yang frowned slightly, because the elves are friendly with humans. Therefore, the knowledge and cultural customs of the elves are widely spread among humans. Although the southeast area where Su Yang is located has almost no traces of elf activities due to its geographical location. However, in the more prosperous areas such as the central area and the Zhengdong area, people from the elves are more common. Therefore, even Su Yang knows, there is only one person who can be called queen by the elves. That is the ruler of the kingdom of elves, the Queen of Elves. As for what her name was, Su Yang couldn't remember. Now it seems that it is called Seveliah. Only. In front of this elf girl. She's the daughter of the Elven Queen. Although only the sixth girl. But it is a direct bloodline after all. Good guy. This black flame wing is really awesome. He was able to snatch an elf princess from the kingdom of elves. Although I don't know how it does it. Come to my senses. Su Yang stretches out the dragon claw. Under a light slap, the prison on the tower instantly shattered and collapsed. Control Lilith with the spiritual power of the dragon, and wrap her in a spiritual prison. Then let her look at the elf mage who was about to arrive at the Black Dragon Fortress. Do you know the elf over there? Lilith, who was trapped in the spiritual prison, floated in the air. While his face was pale, his lips and body were trembling slightly. The transparent spiritual power barrier under her feet showed signs of her fear of heights. But even so, when she heard that there were elves coming here, there was still a touch of joy in her eyes. Has someone come to save her? Enduring the discomfort caused by fear of heights, Lilith's gaze fell below zero. But at this very moment, the original hope in her eyes was instantly shattered. Even turned into a kind of disgust and hatred. When Lilith recognized it, Su Yang's gaze stayed on her all the time. Naturally, I also noticed the change in her expression, and felt a slight movement in her heart. It looks like this elf princess. Do you really know the guy below? Su Yang spoke again. Lilith pursed her lips. That, flowers and leaves robe. This is the symbol of the Lawrence family. Although I know the person below, the members of the Lawrence family are all rubbish. Being rescued by him, I would rather stay here and be imprisoned for the rest of my life. Su Yang, what's going on? It seems that this elf princess has a personal grievance with this Lawrence family. He would rather be imprisoned by him in this Black Dragon Fortress than be rescued by that elf mage. It feels like this. There is so much room to maneuver. Thinking of this, Su Yang had an idea. I saw him looking at Lilith. I'll hand you over to him later. Don't want. When Su Yang said this sentence, Lilith's reaction was unexpectedly violent like never before. From top to bottom, there was a smell of resistance. His strength is at the level of Weiyu, and I am not his opponent. Unless you can tell me his weakness, and I will defeat him, so that you will not be taken away by him. Lilith, looking at the silent Lilith. Su Yang actually didn't know what to do. He didn't know if that guy had a so-called weakness, so he just asked first to try it out. 3 minutes later, Lilith seemed to have made up her mind. Okay, I promise you. I rely on. Really weak. Su Yang's eyes lit up immediately. This is a 6th level elf mage. If he can be killed, the experience gained, equipment and props dropped. How rich. After all, there is an essential difference between the 6th rank and the 5th rank. Its intensity is not of the same magnitude at all, and the rewards obtained are naturally completely different. The most important thing is the elf mage of the Lawrence family, dressed head to toe in sparkling gear. Especially the silver-white staff he held in his hand was of high quality at first glance. It is even possible that it is the equipment of the Wei Yu rank. Although Su Yang, as a warrior, cannot equip a staff. But if you can kill him, explode this staff. How much money and resources can I get for a bright moon-level staff if I sell it? Just thinking about it is exciting. Say, what's his weakness? While talking, Su Yang glanced into the distance. The elf mage has advanced to 2/3 of the progress of the dungeon. It is estimated that it will not be long before they will attack the fortress. My own group of subordinates, whether they are ordinary monsters or elite monsters. It was like being chopped melons and vegetables in front of him, and he couldn't stop him at all. The people of the Lawrence family are born with extremely high spiritual power and have excellent talents in magic. But their physical bodies are very fragile. Even if the strength has reached 5 or 6 ranks, the physical strength is still only 1 rank. The strength has reached 5 turns and 6, 5, 7 turns. Body strength is still only 1 turn. What the hell is this Lawrence family? Although we all know that mages are not as good as other melee professions in terms of physical fitness. But this is too exaggerated. Could it be something like a curse? Su Yang was thinking ecstatically. Lilith on the side curled her lips. Although I told you his weakness. But it's useless. You guys can't break through his magic barrier. As long as he sees you approaching, he will definitely open the magic barrier immediately. Su Yang, good guy, or you despised yourself. But then again, this is indeed a problem. According to the guy's 6-turn magic power level, the magic barrier cast should not be something he can break through. In this way, even if his body is extremely fragile, if he can't break through the magic barrier, isn't it still useless? Die. Could it be that the only way left is to devour unknown piece of rotten meat? Call. Side. Only personal repositories can be opened. Take out the unknown piece of rotten meat. But just when Su Yang was about to swallow it, suddenly realized a problem. If say 1, I can take out the dragon-slaying heart in the dungeon and make it my personal equipment. Then the equipment I brought in. Can't black flame wings also be used? Su Yang feels like he has opened the door to a new world. Immediately, try to activate the shadow body attached to Shadow's bloodlust. Sure enough, he was going to be rescued by the hateful Lawrence scum. Lilith sighed. The Lawrence family is notorious in the kingdom of elves. Due to the frailty of the body, the male members of this family are somewhat perverted and distorted in their hearts. There are even scandals about women marrying into the Lawrence family and being tortured to death. Those noble lords of Lawrence who looked handsome on the outside. Who knows what kind of demons live beneath their handsome skins? Unfortunately, due to the incomparable magical talent of the Lawrence family. As a result, their family has superior strength and status in the kingdom of elves. Even the elf royal family turned a blind eye to their evil deeds. But, according to the tradition of the kingdom of elves, if he was rescued by this guy, then she must marry him. For Lilith, this is undoubtedly more tormented than being imprisoned here. At least, this black dragon usually doesn't care about himself at all. By comparison, the black dragon who used to annoy her has become a little more delicate. Where's the black dragon? Lilith was taken aback for a moment. Looking at the originally huge black dragon beside him. She disappeared without a trace. Her beautiful eyes were full of shock. It worked. Su Yang, who successfully entered the shadow body state. A look of excitement flashed in his eyes. Did not expect their own equipment. It can really affect black flame wings. In this way, the self in the state of invisibility can avoid being discovered by that elf mage. According to the evaluation criteria of shadow body, only when the other party's spiritual attribute is 30% higher than his, can he see through his invisible state. However, in addition to the effect of the equipment can be shared, Su Yang also found out. Own property, own talents. All can be shared with black flame wings. Especially the talent of double spirit enhancement. It can convert a certain percentage of power attributes into spiritual attributes. This percentage, in Su Yang's case, is 10%. But on Black Flame Wings it is the 5% king. From this, Su Yang can almost be sure. The stronger the physical body, the higher the conversion percentage. As for Black Flame Wings as a giant dragon, its power attribute is already terrifying, reaching more than 3,000 points. In this way, after transformation, its spiritual attributes can directly increase by more than 1,500 points. Finally, the attribute of Su Yang, the transformation attribute of double spirit enhancement plus the already high spiritual attribute of Black Flame. The sum of the three. Let the spiritual attribute of Black Flame Wings reach a terrifying more than 3,000 points, which is directly equal to the strength attribute. This is an extremely exaggerated number. Even if it is a rank 6 mage. Assume that the job transfer is completed on a 4-star difficulty every time. All the free attribute points he can get are only more than 2,000 points. Among them, a part of the basic bonus points of strength and speed need to be deducted, and 1,500 points that can be reserved for spiritual attributes is very good. However, the current Black Flame Wing is more than 3,000 points. Exaggeration. Too exaggerated. In this way, you don't even need to swallow unknown rotten meat. The strength of Black Flame Wings is comparable to the 6th rank. And this is also due to system reasons. Strength improvement in the form of card bugs. It will not increase the level of the dungeon, and will give early warning to challengers in the secret realm. So it is an excellent helper for fighting sap and slaughtering fat sheep. In Su Yang's eyes, the excitement grew stronger. Looking at the elf mage not far away. Like a hungry wolf seeing a big fat sheep. According to Lilith, this 6-turn wizard mage. The Lorenzo family from the Kingdom of Elves. It can be regarded as a real rich and noble family. Then he definitely has a lot of high-level precious props on him. I hope my luck is better. Su Yang grinned. Immediately in the state of shadow body quickly approach. Fort ahead. Akare Lawrence walked down the avenue with a face full of arrogance. Ahead, the giant blood soul cleared an unobstructed path for him. Only, step on these filthy monster corpses. It also made him feel a little sick. Looked up. Look at the giant dragon fortress that is close at hand. At this very moment, there is no movement on it yet. Thinking about it, it was that stupid black dragon who saw his own strength. Are you hiding in some corner of the fort and shivering? The corners of Akare Lawrence's mouth raised slightly. In a little while, wait until he slaughtered the black dragon. Princess Lilith can be rescued. Although this princess bears the curse of the royal family. Unable to possess any supernatural powers. But her beauty. But she is the most famous of all princesses. Isn't such a vase a man's favorite? Can play around without fear of consequences. As the cursed princess, even the royal family will not pay much attention to her. Think so. Akale just wanted to move on. Suddenly. Boom. Huge dragon body. It's like a miracle. Suddenly appeared from the void. That huge dragon claw that once tore apart countless lives. Akale was pushed into the ground directly from behind, turning into a puddle of meat sauce. Everything came so suddenly and so inexplicably. Ahead, the giant blood soul that was slaughtering monsters. Following Akale's death, his figure suddenly became blurred, and then disappeared. After a brief silence, the monsters in the entire Black Dragon Fortress all gave out deafening cheers and shouts. From their point of view, those cold and majestic golden dragon eyes, that mysterious and powerful huge dragon body, great black flame wings, the ruler of black flame. With the supreme majesty of ruling the world, he trampled under his feet the elf mage who was still massacring before. This moment, monsters, elite bosses, all knelt down in an instant, facing the direction where Su Yang was. He bowed his head devoutly and fanatically, and shouted the honorable name of Wings of Black Flame in his mouth. Lord Athos, say, the atmosphere is in place. Everything is broken, surrounded by a large number of fanatical believers. Su Yang's blood went up for a while. It directly brought into the identity of the black dragon Athos. Looking up to the sky, let out a dragon roar that can make the soul tremble. Roar, the remaining prestige brought by the dragon's roar. It even made the whole secret realm vibrate. Yelled. Enough addiction. Then he looked at his own spoils. Ding, you killed level 130 Mystic Elf Mage Akale Lawrence. Experience gained, 12.1 million. Get a drop. Roar. Please customize. Ha 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 ha. More than 12 million experiences. Last time, the secret quest group was wiped out. A total of only a few million experience has been obtained. Now just by killing this Lawrence Wizard Mage alone, he has gained more than 12 million experience points. Worthy of turning 6. It's really delicious. The only fly in the ointment is that I haven't completed the third round yet. The upper limit of experience is there, and 40% of the experience will be lost in vain. Due to experience overflow, 40% loss, current experience reserve, 7.2 million. Looking at the more than 5 million experience lost in vain, I felt a heartache in my heart. In order to appease the pain, Su-Yong chooses to look at this guy's dropped items. Drop props. First Order Forbidden Curse Vientiane Extreme Thunder. Legendary Soul Calling Stone Yu Wolf Spirit. Legendary Barrier Scroll Blessing of Natural Fairies. Look at these items that are surging with various magical tides. Su-Yong only had 2 words left in his heart. This is the gold content of a rank 6 powerhouse. Starting with a legendary item. Wrong. Ordinary rank 6, how could it be so rich? It must be because of his status as the noble son of the Lorenzo family. Check out these various legendary scrolls. There is even a scroll of forbidden spells. Forbidden curse. On top of legends. How terrifying is the power released? It was beyond what Su-Yong could have imagined. After all, the strongest person he has seen so far is this noble son of the Lawrence family. Legendary skills. It is enough to easily kill a group of 5 rank powerhouses in seconds. Then cast a forbidden spell 21. Enough to kill a rank 6 powerhouse. It is clear, even for this Mr. Lawrence. This curse level scroll is definitely a treasure at the bottom of the box. Now that it's dropped due to the death penalty, don't know how heartbroken he will be. First Order Forbidden Curse Vientiane Extreme Thunder. Introduce. Forbidden spell level skills, after casting, will trigger the vision of heaven and earth. Kill all creatures within range with endless thunder. Arouse the vision of heaven and earth. Kill all living beings within the range. It is indeed a forbidden curse. Take a deep breath. Put this curse scroll away. This is for some time to come. It may be the backhand who pressed the bottom of the box. After putting away the forbidden spell, Su-Yang's eyes turned to the remaining props. The rest, although not as good as the forbidden curse, are still quite precious. Legendary Soul Calling Stone Yu Wolf Spirit. Introduce. In the Kingdom of Elves, Yu Wolf Spirit is known as the messenger of the goddess of nature. It is a blessed and powerful existence, and it is a patron saint who protects people. Using the Soul Calling Stone, you can summon 2 spirit bodies of the 6th Order Yu Wolf Spirit to help you fight. After reading it, Su-Yong knew that he had made a fortune. This item called Soul Calling Stone. It was actually able to summon 2 6th Order summons to help in the battle. And, this is not a one-time prop. It has a function similar to charging. After each use, it needs to be recharged after absorbing the full night moonlight. Baby. Well baby. In this way, it is equivalent to having 2 permanent 6th Order thugs. Since then, in Tianling City, Su-Yong has been able to walk sideways. Look at Legendary Barrier Scroll Natural Fairies Blessing. This is also a legendary skill scroll. It's just that it's not attacking, but defensive. According to the instructions on it, it can completely resist several 6th Order magic attacks without breaking. In addition to this forbidden spell, a Soul Calling Stone, and a defensive legendary scroll. Although the rest of the items are also very rare, they are not that special in comparison. So Su-Yong put everything into his personal space. Next, let's go to the link of seeing the equipment drop. If I remember correctly, the silver white staff that this guy was holding at that time. It definitely looks like the Xingyao tier is up. Most likely, it is Weiyu level equipment. If it can explode this time. My own luck is too bad. Thinking of this, Su-Yang's eyes fell on the equipment drop list 1. At a glance, good guy, it's not just that the silver white staff didn't fall. The drop list of this equipment is actually blank. What a pity, what a pity. This guy is a top fat sheep. With just the outfit on her body, she will definitely start at the Star Brilliance level. In the end, none of them came out. It seems that my luck has not always been so good. I thought I could get a piece of Weiyu level equipment in my life. Life is not easy, raptors sigh. Slightly disappointed for a second or two. After reorganizing my mood, I returned to the fortress. At this time, Lilith in the spiritual prison. She looked at Su Yang in shock, completely unaware of what happened just now. All she knew was that she was still thinking about what to do if she was really rescued by the scum of the Lawrence family. After all, she could tell that the black dragon in front of her hadn't grown up at all. Meeting someone from the Lawrence family shouldn't end well. After all, it can't even break Lawrence's spell barrier. Result: this black dragon actually knows invisibility magic. Lilith was stunned immediately. She is a royal princess. Although it is said that he bears the curse of the royal family, it does not have any supernatural powers. But after all, he has accepted the education of the royal family, and he still has a wide range of knowledge. If I remember correctly, invisibility magic is only available to rainbow dragons, right? But this guy in front of him is obviously a black dragon. While Lilith was in a trance, the head of the giant dragon that suddenly appeared before her eyes made her startled. "You, what are you doing?" Lilith took a step back unconsciously. Although this black dragon helped her avoid the nightmare of falling into the hands of the Lawrence family, but those cold golden dragon eyes still made her feel very uneasy. Facing Lilith's nervousness, in Su Yang's heart, there are actually quite doubts. He actually noticed from the very beginning. This elf princess don't have any strength in your body. Apart from being good looking, the rest are no different from ordinary people. What's the situation? It stands to reason, generally like this kind of royal blood, shouldn't they all be strong? For example, the mage of the Lawrence family. There is a family blood blessing of excellent magic talent. She is a princess of the elf royal family, would she not have these things? This kind of doubt, Su Yang originally wanted to ask. But thinking about it later, people may not say it. After all, this kind of thing is not something to be proud of. Thinking of this, Su Yang simply didn't bother to ask. With a thought, the spiritual prison was broken. Lilith fell from the sky. It fell on Su Yang's huge dragon claw. This sudden movement made Lilith stunned for a moment. But soon, he tried his best to hug one of Su Yang's dragon claws, for fear that he would slip down. "You, what are you going to do? I helped you defeat that guy. You are not allowed to go back on your word." The pale Princess Lilith. Holding Su Yang's dragon claw tightly, he closed his eyes and dared not look down. Contradictory. What the hell? What did I promise her just now? Doesn't seem like that's the case at all. He curled his lips helplessly. Su Yang put Lilith on the ground. The prison is broken. Anyway, you can't get out of this secret place, so you can just find a place to live in this fort. Finished. Su Yang raised his head to the sky and let out a dragon roar. In the dragon roar, he announced his order. Any monsters are not allowed to approach and harm Lilith. Finish. I didn't even look at Lilith, who looked complicated and seemed to have something to say. Directly disconnected from the black dragon boss. Home. Su Yang wakes up. Have to say, it feels so good to be a boss. But, wait until you complete the transfer. By the way, kill the secret exploration group for the last time. It's time to go to Black Dragon Fortress to get the first kill. After all, with the improvement of one's own strength, you can't stay in Tianling City forever, can you? You have to go to a broader and more prosperous place to make yourself stronger. Moreover, anyway, after being killed, Black Flame Wings will not disappear, but will become its own subordinate. Besides, I can also continue to serve as a boss higher than Black Flame Wings. Become a stronger boss and slaughter bigger fat sheep. This is Su Yang's philosophy. I don't know what the next boss will be. I'm really looking forward to it. Murmured. Straight out. Go to the job-changing temple. Accept your job transfer task. Thinking about it now, it's a pity. If you haven't touched fish a few days ago, you can rest. Then you can get more than 5 million more experience. Tut tut. Sure enough, laziness will only make people corrupt. Job transfer temple. Bai Ling's mood is numb now. Just now, she was summoned by the job-changing statue again. Knowing that Su Yang is about to arrive at the temple. Are you going to complete the transfer task again? Obviously, it hasn't been long since the last job change. Lord Brave, it's perverted enough. Only In Bai Ling's heart, still a little sad, the job transfer temple in Dongling City can only complete 3 turns at most. Want to complete a higher level job transfer? You need to go to a higher level city. Just as he was thinking, Su Yang's figure had already appeared not far away. Bai Ling swept away the loneliness on his face, put on a sweet smile, and stepped forward to greet him. Master Brave, do you need a third job change? Yep, Su Yang nodded slightly. Only, just dealt with a new round of intrusions. As a dragon, I killed the warrior who came to rescue the princess. Listening to the title of Master Brave, it really feels a little strange. After all, generally speaking, it is Dragon Quest. I am a dragon and a warrior at the same time. Is it really okay? What's the matter? Is there any trouble, Mr. Brave? It seems that Su Yang's expression is a bit strange. Bai Ling, who was always paying attention to Su Yang, asked very intimately. No, come to yourself. Su Yang shook his head. Speaking of which, I haven't been a dragon for long. After the job transfer is complete, kill the secret quest guys, and then it's time for you to kill the dragon as a warrior. Su Yang, on the way to the transfer room. Suddenly, a familiar voice sounded. Su Yang turned his head to look. It turned out to be Ji Yu Xueqin. This guy also came to change jobs. What a coincidence. Ji Yu Xueqin walked over with a coquettish smile. Been through a whole week of crazy leveling. She has also reached level 20 now, and she is here to prepare for a turn. I didn't expect to meet Su Yang just after accepting the mission of the first turn, which gave her a little surprise. It's quite a coincidence. Su Yang nodded and smiled. Since the awakening of the job change, he has no contact with those people in the past. After all, I am alone, and I don't have any good friends. At that time, when he had just completed his awakening, he was ridiculed by Wang Fei and everyone else. The scene of Ji Yu Xueqin standing up to speak for him is still vivid in my memory. So when I saw her at this time, it really felt like meeting an old friend. Are you here to submit a second rank mission? Ji Yu Xueqin asked with a smile. She remembered that because of the addition of the U member. It seems that it took a while to reach level 40 and accept the second job. At this time, if you come to the job transfer temple, you must have completed the second job transfer task and come here to submit it, right? Thinking about myself, with the help of everyone in UU, I managed to reach level 20 within a week. And Su Yang has already reached level 40 and completed the second job mission. There is often such a big difference between people. Well, sort of. For Ji Yu Xueqin's guess. Su Yang nodded with a smile and did not refute. At the same time, he even gave her a little encouragement. Are you here to accept the first rank mission? As a hidden profession, you have great potential for development, so please work hard. Aha! A hint of surprise appeared on Ji Yu Xueqin's face, and she nodded vigorously. Su Yang's encouragement made her feel a little flattered. Just such a sentence made the desire in her heart to work hard to become stronger. Okay, I'll go to accept the task of job change first. See you next time. The door of the room where the job changing statue is. Bai Ling blinked and asked curiously, Master Brave, why didn't you tell her that you are going to accept the third transfer now? There's no need to. Su Yang smiled lightly. She can be regarded as a classmate with a good relationship with me, and she has strong potential. Let me say that, isn't she more motivated? If I say that I have already completed the second round and started the third round, it may hurt her confidence. Master Brave is really delicate. A gleam flashed in Bai Ling's beautiful eyes. The image of Su Yang in her heart has also become more three-dimensional. Okay, I'll go ahead and pick up the job transfer task. Yeah, okay, Mr. Brave, please come in. Job changing idol room 1. In just over a week. Came here 3 times. This is for ordinary people. It is simply impossible to complete the Arabian Nights. Even Su Yang himself, looking at the increasingly familiar statue of the god of job change, felt a little like a dream. But soon, I came back to my senses, let go of so many emotions, and began to accept the job transfer task. A statue of a job-changing god shrouded in chaos. Exuding a faint brilliance, job transfer tasks of different difficulty are listed. 1-star 3-turn mission. 2-star, 3-turn mission. 3-star 3-turn mission. According to the usual practice, Su Yong slid directly to the very bottom. Look at the 5-star job transfer task at the bottom. This third transfer is an important job transfer that enables career advancement. Correspondingly, the difficulty of job transfer tasks should be much higher. 5-star, 3-turn mission, Magic Warrior Professional Advancement Mission. Double proof of magic and power. Magic, the Eater of the Dilapidated Mansion. Mission restrictions on the premise of not using the physical damage of the mission. Kill the level 60 platinum level dungeon by one person. Rundown mansion boss human eating spirit ghost. The Rock Abyss Earth Dragon in the Wild Spirit Mountain Range. Mission limitation on the premise of not using any magic damage. Single-handedly kill the level 60 field boss Yanyuan Earth Dragon. L. Mission rewards. Professional advancement of Demon Warrior, Devil Spirit Secret Weapon. 300 Strength Exclusive Attribute Points, 300 Spirit Exclusive Attribute Points. Legendary Demon Spirit Secret Weapon Passive Skill. This, after reading it, Su Yong felt that his job transfer task was exaggerated. Other professions, even if it is a 5-star job change. It's fine if the task is difficult, but at least there is only one task, right? I actually divided directly into 2 tasks. And this harsh mission limit. It is not allowed to use physical damage when killing Platinum rank boss Man Devouring Ghost. Killing Platinum boss Yanyuan Earth Dragon is not allowed to use magic damage. Okay, who let me choose the special profession of Magic Warrior? The road I choose, I have to walk on my knees. After accepting the job transfer task, the hidden job transfer task did not appear. Should it appear after completing the basic job transfer task? Well, it should be. After leaving the career transfer temple, Su Yong glanced at the map that Bai Ling had given him earlier. The dilapidated mansion, as a dungeon of the Platinum stage, is located in a huge ruin to the east of Tianling City. As for the Wild Spirit Mountain Range, it is also on the outskirts of Tianling City. Hey, this time I ran to Tianling City. It seems that I need to buy a house in Tianling City first. Anyway, the next 4 and 5 revolutions can no longer be completed in Dongling City. Go to the delivery center. After teleporting to Tianling City, Su Yong went straight to the rundown mansion. The matter of buying a house. Wait until the transfer is complete. Time to hurry up. People from the secret exploration group may challenge the Black Dragon Fortress at any time. If I haven't completed the job change before then, the experience at that time will be wasted just like this time. The ruined mansion, located in the wild area desolate ruins. It is said that this barren ruin was once the mansion of a certain important person. It's just that the big man seemed to be under some kind of curse later. Not only killed everyone in the mansion overnight. In the end, he turned into an extremely powerful man-eating ghost. This platinum-level dungeon named Rundown Mansion was formed. So far, there are very few guilds that have cleared this dungeon. This is because most of the monsters in this copy are spirit monsters. In most guilds, most of the members are physical professions such as fighters and knights. Only professionals like mages or priests with damage skills can cause damage to spirit monsters. But whether it is a mage or a priest, they are all relatively rare professions, which naturally leads to the low clearance rate of this dungeon. Therefore, in the case that most of the other platinum-level dungeons will be captured by the guild after refreshing, this rundown mansion is rarely occupied by people. When Su Yong came here, it was already evening. There is a large area around here. For the time being, no one has been seen. In the words of those who have been there, this place is just a bit of a dark spot. After all, it is something of ghosts and ghosts. If it is not necessary, not many people are willing to come here. It's really dark. Feel the cool breeze on your neck. Su Yong couldn't help shivering. But, for this copy, Su Yong is quite confident. After all, as a magic warrior, the magic blade you have is pure magic damage. With my current attributes, it is definitely enough to kill the mobs in this dungeon. Just one, the last boss. It might be a little troublesome. It's good to pay, after all. Shadow's Bloodthirsty. This star-level weapon is considered a physical entity. If you use it to attack, it is tantamount to violating the restrictions of the mission. In this way, Su Yong can only rely on one magic blade. It should be enough. Prepared a little bit. Su Yang stepped directly into the entrance of the secret realm. With a flash of white light, the power of space surges. Su Yang's figure disappeared in place. 5 minutes later, a figure rushed over panting. He is a staff member of the Tianling City Job Change Association. The daily tasks are very leisurely, mainly responsible for the maintenance of the dungeon of the secret realm. At this moment, he who was running out of breath, looked extremely nervous. It's broken, it's broken. I was drunk yesterday, so I just woke up after falling asleep. But it stands to reason that no one comes to this ghostly place, so it shouldn't be a big problem. As he said that, he was about to insert the notice board in his hand. Today's red moon, this dungeon is forbidden to enter at the entrance of the secret realm. But suddenly, the staff member froze in place. I saw, the status of the rift is no longer green, but red. This means that someone is working on a secret raider. Seeing that someone has already started to challenge the copy, the notice board in the worker's hand fell directly to the ground. His face turned pale immediately, and his forehead was dripping with cold sweat. Red moon. This is a peculiar phenomenon since the advent of the game. The originally normal moon will turn into an uncomfortable scarlet on this day. At the same time, many wild monsters and monsters in the secret realm will become more violent and bloodthirsty. In particular, a copy like this rundown mansion. Among them, the spirit monsters are the most affected by red moon. There is no fixed rule for the appearance of the red moon, only in the early morning of the day when it is about to appear, there will be some special omens. By detecting this omen, the Job Changer Association will ask the staff responsible for maintaining the secret realm to place a sign next to the secret realm about the coming of the red moon. Of course, outside the vast majority of secrets, there are reminder signs placed. There are very few dungeons that are directly forbidden to enter like Rundown Mansion. Attributable to the reason, it is because most copies are affected by red moon. Among them, the strength of monsters becomes stronger, but at the same time, the rewards obtained after killing them will also be richer. Therefore, there are actually quite a few people or guilds who will deliberately challenge dungeons affected by red moon just to obtain higher level rewards. But, Rundown Mansion, it's different. The monsters in it are affected by red moon and will become extremely terrifying. Most importantly, what they caused was mental damage. Dying in a dungeon of a secret realm is not terrible, because there is a statue of a job changer. After death only suffers the death penalty. Then you can be resurrected. But, mental damage. It is irreversible permanent damage. In the past, there have been more than one times when someone challenged Rundown Mansion. After death and rebirth, he immediately becomes a fool. Not to mention, affected by red moon. The ghost monsters in Rundown Mansion will only become more terrifying. Think about it. The staff member was on the verge of crying. This was entirely due to his personal mistakes. The one who can challenge the platinum level dungeon is at least B level. If something really happened to the person who challenged the secret realm, then he would be finished. While the staff member was still suffering from his own mistakes. From the surrounding ruins, there were vague howls of ghosts and wolves, which immediately sent chills down his back. At the same time, in the night, that crimson moon that makes people feel uncomfortable psychologically. It is slowly rising from the sky. No. I have to report to the boss. Mumbling, this guy's back was soaked in cold sweat, and he just ran away. Tianling City, City Lord's Mansion. After the game comes. Officially established the Job Transfer Association. Specially responsible for the management and coordination of all kinds of affairs related to job transferees. At this time, Secret Realm Management Department. The staff member who appeared outside that Rundown Mansion earlier. Standing in front of a middle-aged man, he was deeply reviewing his mistakes. The man is the director of the Secret Management Department, named Wu Yongji. After listening to the report, he frowned tightly, and his face was covered with frost. When you drink and drink, you know how to drink. I'm telling you, if anything happens, it's all your responsibility. Director Wu. The man wants to cry but has no tears. Wu Yongji was furious. Kicked the man out of the office directly. After wandering in the office for half a minute, Wu Yongji opened the communication panel. Sent a message to the presidents of all B-level and above guilds in Tianling City. Before solving this matter, He needs to confirm which guild is challenging Rundown Mansion. Lingshou, headquarters. Lei Shan was talking with Zhao Ming and several other vice presidents. Discuss how to apologize to the big guy back then. As a hidden boss who can take out legendary scrolls at will. He definitely doesn't like ordinary things, but they can't take out things that are too precious. This is embarrassing, but the problem is. After all, I have offended others. If I don't make an apology, I will apologize. When the time comes, he will think about it and destroy the Lingshou group several times, which is not something they can bear. Can't. Lingshou, never leave the city, don't you go to the wild area. Ding. Discussing. A message popped up from Lei Shan's communication panel. Lei Shan temporarily stopped the discussion and glanced at the news. Director Wu, Secret Realm Management Department of Job Transfer Association, President Lei, is your guild raiding the dungeon of Ruined Mansion? The Ruined Mansion. Isn't this the copy of the Underworld? Lei Shan was very impressed with it. In his 4th rank mission, there was a material that needed to be obtained. You need to kill the elite monsters to get a material called Ghost Core. At that time, fortunately, as a Thunder Mage, the thunder power he controlled had a damage bonus to spirit and ghost creatures. Otherwise, he might be stuck for a long time to change jobs. But even so, after he collected Ghost Core, he was still given a second by the boss man-eating spirit ghost. As a result, he practiced the level for a long time, and finally completed the 4th turn. This kind of underworld dungeon, even after completing the 4th round, he never went there again. Why did Director Wu suddenly ask such a question? Forget it, don't bother to bother. After returning the message, Lei Shan just wanted to resume the discussion, when the gaze fell out of the window inadvertently. Suddenly froze. Today is the red moon. And many more. Now it makes sense. Director Wu asked just now. Could it be that someone is still in the rundown mansion at this time? This dungeon is already enough for the underworld, but now it is affected by red moon. How much of the underworld does it have to be? I don't know which unlucky guy it is, but CBCF entered the rundown mansion at this time. Tisk tisk tisk. When it came out, I guess it wasn't crazy and maybe it wasn't normal. It's really miserable. Yuyun Building. President's office. A group of goddess-level characters are having a carnival. Mirong Shui, and Yu, Shu Yan, Ji Muzzy, Lin Yuyu. If there are men present, everyone will definitely be overwhelmed because everyone is too beautiful. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Because it is impossible for a man to be invited. Oh, except Su Yang. But Su Yang wasn't there. At this time, Lin Yuyun is the protagonist. Accepting everyone's congratulations. Lin Yuyu smiled and hugged Lin Yuyun's waist. Sister, you finally turned 5, whoever bullies me in the future, you will help me. Mirong Shui smiled lightly and raised the wine glass in her hand. Towards a longtime friend and comrade in arms. Congratulations on the 5th turn. And Yu put his arms around Lin Yuyun's fair neck from behind. He glanced at Mirong Shui with great air, and made a playful grimace. Hee, the president is mine. However, I have to reach the 5th rank soon, otherwise it will be bad if I get rejected by then. Ha 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 ha, a place with an Yu is always so happy. Even Mirong Shui was amused at this time. On the side, Shu Yan raised her head and drank the wine in the glass in one gulp. While raising the empty cup to pay tribute, he looked at the people around him with a smile. Let's work hard together, and strive for a few more 5th ranks this year. Simultaneously with the release, in the corner. While looking around, Ji Muzzy wrinkled his cute little nose. Where's the cake? I want to eat it. Everyone. Thank you for your well wishes. Yu Yun smiled and expressed his gratitude for the blessing. After going through so many twists and turns, she finally completed 5 rounds. The most important thing is to be able to obtain the opportunity of Trial Secret Realm. This made her very happy today. But just when she was about to continue to say something, suddenly, a message came from the communication panel. Professional Transfer Association Secret Realm Management Department Director Wu, President Lin, is your guild raiding the instance of Rundown Mansion? Lin Yuyun was stunned. What's wrong? Seeing this, several people asked in succession. It's nothing. People from the Job Changers Association asked if we were challenging the Rundown Mansion. The ruined mansion. Mirong Shui was stunned for a moment, then she frowned slightly. Today is Red Moon, how could someone challenge this dungeon at this time? I don't know. Lin Yuyun shook his head. Hope the challenger is okay. I have already replied, because the family continues. Except for A-level guilds like Lingshou and Yuyun. The rest of the B-level guilds also received news from Wu Yongji. Their reactions were roughly the same. In addition to shock, or, while being shocked, for the warriors who dared to challenge the ruined mansion during the Red Moon period, expressed deep sympathy and admiration. At the same time, they also want to know, which guild is so brave? Commit crimes directly against the wind and make it difficult for yourself. As for individual challengers, they never thought about it. This underworld copy, it feels difficult to fight together in the guild. Can there be a personal challenger? Impossible. Secret Management Department. Wu Yongji finished counting the feedback information. The pen in my hand just dropped. What's going on? The statistical results show that all B-level or above guilds in Tianling City, none of them are challenging Rundown Mansion. Is it a C-level guild? It's not right. Even without the influence of Red Moon, C-level guilds are going to challenge Rundown Mansion to die. This is so strange. Wu Yongji frowned. But at this moment, a thought crossed my mind. Let him just freeze in place. Could it be that, entering the Rundown Mansion, not a guild, individual challenger? This can't be. This dungeon is the famous underworld. Who would be idle and have nothing to do to swipe alone? Moreover, originally a copy of the platinum rank. Even if you want to solo, you must at least have the strength of the 4th rank. Can be affected by Red Moon, the ghosts in it will go crazy, and it is very likely to be promoted to diamond level difficulty. Pause. It's supposed to be torn apart inside. As for the 5th turn, which rank 5 master would go for a copy of the platinum rank? Forget it. Wu Yongji's head hurts thinking about it. No matter who is in the copy now. If nothing happens in the end, it's okay to say. But if it comes out in the end, it's crazy. Then the responsibility must still fall on them. Oh shit, Wu Yongji cursed in a low voice. I have already greeted the 18 generations of the ancestors of the guy who made a mistake by drinking in his heart. But in the end, I still had to take people with me and went to the ruined mansion. At the very least, it would be crazy to come out of the dungeon by then. They also have to bring people back, they can't just leave them in the wild. 30 minutes later, Wu Yongji brought people to the location of Rundown Mansion. However, he found that, before him, many people had already gathered here. They are all happy people who eat human blood steamed buns, right? Wu Yongji frowned, and was about to step forward to drive everyone away. But suddenly found out, one of them, it turned out to be Zhou Taizhou in charge of Tianji Pavilion. This time, the scolding words that had just reached his mouth were swallowed up immediately. This is the 5th rank boss, let alone the director of his department. Even if the city lord of Tianling City comes, he is not willing to provoke him easily. Only, what are they doing here? Wu Yongji just wanted to step forward to ask. His gaze fell to the front of the crowd. I saw a girl with long purple hair. Right now, he was standing in front of the entrance to the secret realm, frowning slightly. No, it shouldn't be called standing. The girl's toes were several centimeters from the ground. It should be said that it is in a floating state, standing in front of the entrance of the secret realm. But, that's fine. As long as the magic power is enough, many powerful professionals can levitate themselves. The one who really made Wu Yongji feel terrified was that Zhou Tai, the supervisor of Zhou. At this time, he actually stood beside the purple-haired girl with a full face of respect. This girl, what is it? www. The arrival of Wu Yongji. Naturally, it attracted everyone's attention. Zhou Tai glanced at Wu Yongji. After asking something in a low voice beside Luo Linger, he strode towards him. Director Wu. Zhou Tai himself was very aggressive. Coupled with his scarred face, it is enough to frighten Xiao Xiao. Facing Wu Yongji at this time, he was a different person from the one who was standing beside Luo Linger just now. I saw him pointing to the dilapidated mansion beside him, and said in a deep voice. Why is there someone in the secret realm? During the Red Moon period, isn't it forbidden to enter? Quote, facing Zhou Tai's appearance of provoking a teacher to ask a crime, Wu Yongji forcibly calmed himself down, and explained the ins and outs of the incident. Hearing this, Zhou Tai nodded expressionlessly, walked back to Luo Linger's side, and said respectfully, Miss, it is said that someone inadvertently broke into it. It shouldn't take long before it will fail and be sent out. Luo Linger nodded coldly. After she rested in Yongfang City, they came directly to Tianling City. It coincides with the arrival of the Red Moon. She learned about the surroundings of Tianling City. There is such a secret realm of ghosts and ghosts. So he thought of coming over to give his world spirit horse a full meal. Who knows the result? This secret place was occupied in advance. Now it seems, shouldn't have to wait long. Under the influence of Red Moon, even if it is rank 5, it is extremely difficult to clear the level alone. Not to mention 4 rotations, it is estimated that it will be torn apart by the ghosts in it soon. The guy who strayed into it should be teleported out soon, without wasting much time. Half an hour ago, white light emerges, and the power of space fluctuates. Su Yang successfully entered the secret space of Rundown Mansion. Only, just entered, there was a cold wind blowing. Compared with the time outside the secret, it is much more gloomy. What a ghostly place, Su Yang complained softly. He raised his head and glanced at the general environment of the secret realm. Before, there stands an ancient mansion. It looks like it has fallen into disrepair. In mottled traces, uncomfortable bloodstains were faintly visible. Even, Su Yang wasn't sure if he was dazzled or what. I actually saw shadows of grimaces on some of the mottled walls. Quickly clear the customs. I feel that my mind will be distorted after staying here for a long time. Su Yang walked towards the gate of the mansion. As soon as I approached, under the action of an unknown force, the door of the dilapidated mansion opened to both sides automatically. What followed was bursts of ghostly laughter. Ha ha. He he he, accompanied by looming ghosts. These ghost laughter became more and more obvious. Next second, 2 boy-like ghosts floated out from both sides. Level 55 Ghost Boy. Level 56 Ghost Boy. It looks like it should be a mob in the dungeon. I saw 2 ghost boys floating towards me with strange smiles. Su Yang directly summoned Magic Blade. Swish, swish. The magic blade moved according to Su Yang's thoughts. Turning into a flying blade, it directly pierced through the bodies of the 2 ghost boys. Life value 12,321. Life value 15,321. With 2 numbers popping up. The 2 ghost boys wailed. Stopped that penetrating ghostly laugh. Only, Su Yang frowned. How could these 2 ghost boys not be instantly killed by him? Remember when I and everyone in Yuyun attacked Giant Deep Forest together. The monster Giant Bird in the 80s and over there can kill twice by himself. Although Revenant Mark was used at the time, the damage was tripled. But these 2 ghost boys are only in their 50s, so it stands to reason that their blood volume should not be 3 times that of the Giant Bird. Thinking of this, Su Yang glanced at Ghost Boy's blood bar. Good guy, half of it left. So tough. Are they all the same as the mobs in the diamond level dungeon? Surprised, Su Yang continued to use the magic blade to make up the knife and killed the 2 ghost boys. Ding! Kill the crazy ghost boy. Experience plus 1912. Ding! Experience plus 231 for killing the crazy ghost boy. Crazy ghost boy. Why is there a prefix of crazy? I couldn't figure it out for a while, so I kept a certain speed and continued to advance. But as it advances, it gets deeper and deeper. Su Yang feels more and more wrong. There is definitely something wrong with this copy. Although relying on its own extremely heaven-defying attribute panel. With the addition of the Imperial Envoy's magic blade, it is possible to fight all the way through the entrance of the dilapidated mansion. But the strength of those ordinary monsters that should have been killed by him in an instant has inexplicably increased a lot. Especially those elite monsters, also become more and more difficult. For a few days, Su Yang's advancement slowed down. The main thing is, the recovery of magic power can't keep up with the consumption speed of the magic blade. What the hell? Killed an elite monster, and after consuming almost all of his magic power. Su Yang stopped abruptly, with a hint of helplessness in his eyes. I don't play anymore. I wanted to pass a dungeon properly, but I must be forced. As he said that, he took out the Soul Calling Stone from his personal backpack. Soul Calling Stone. It can summon 2 6th Order Yu Wolf spirits. As a spirit, the attack of Yu Wolf spirit. Of course, it's all magic damage. Ring ring ring. With a burst of bells coming from the Soul Calling Stone. Dash. 2 wolf spirits exuding bright moonlight slowly appeared. The powerful aura on his body. Let the ghosts around Su Yang be eyeing Su Yang. Immediately, expressions of incomparable horror were revealed, and they fled towards the darkness one after another. The 2 Yu wolf spirits did not attack immediately, but rubbed against Su Yang's feet. They would not move without Su Yang's order. All right, go, kill all the ghosts in this instance. Including the boss. Just let the boss be disabled, and leave the last knife to me. Ah, the 2 Yu wolf spirits raised their heads and howled softly. Immediately, it turned into 2 beams of bright moonlight. Wherever they go, any ghost monsters are instantly killed. As a powerful spirit body of the 6th rank, even elite leaders, he couldn't hold Yu Moon Wolf spirit for a second at all. Seeing this, Su Yang immediately felt better. I wanted to be on my own. You forced me. Hey, humming a ditty. Following the advancement of Yu Wolf spirit. Walk towards the boss in the deepest part of the ruined mansion. The deepest part of the dilapidated mansion. Smell the breath of the living. As the boss man-eating ghost, a distorted smile appeared on his face. Affected by red moon, the translucent body of man-eating ghost faintly showed a scarlet color. In the eyes, there is even a trace of bloodthirsty cruelty flashing. Ah, suddenly, the howl of the wolf came. Let it pause. A hint of confusion flashed across the brutal and bloodthirsty eyes. Next second, before it can react, 2 lightning figures like moonlight rushed towards it. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.